A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, and Lucky Strike alone, offers you important evidence gathered in the tobacco country by the world-famous Crosley poll. This evidence reveals the smoking preference of auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen, the men who really know tobacco. Here's what the Crosley poll found.
For their own personal smoking enjoyment, independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
These experts know their business. Their overwhelming preference for Lucky Strike, we believe, has a direct relationship to the quality tobacco we purchase for Lucky's and to the real, deep-down smoking enjoyment you may expect from fine tobacco. And when these veteran tobacco experts name Lucky Strike first choice for their own personal smoking enjoyment, then you know.
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. So smoke the smoke tobacco experts smoke Lucky Strike. Remember,
independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Benny has just returned from his stay in Palm Springs. So let's go out to Jack's house in Beverly Hills. It's morning, and we find Rochester in the kitchen.
I'm overlooking a sink full of dishes that I overlooked all week. There's spoons and there's saucers and dirt on the floor.
Good morning, Rochester.
Oh, good morning, boss. Did you have a nice night?
Oh, pretty good, Rochester, but you know I had a difficult time falling asleep. I counted 3,000 sheep.
3,020 to be exact.
Was it that many?
Yeah, and boss, tonight when you go to bed, why don't you take a little pill?
No, Rochester, I prefer to count sheep.
I know, but I feel so silly putting on that white coat and jumping back and forth over your bedpost.
Rochester, if I can toss and turn, you can jump a little. Doesn't hurt. Now pour me some coffee.
Okay. Just a minute, boss.
Why'd you pull down the shade?
In case Mr. Coleman looks out of his window, I don't want him to see you.
Oh, yes. He's still mad about my losing his Oscar, isn't he?
Mad? Yesterday he came over and got one of our lawnmowers.
Well, that's all right.
I know, but he mowed half his lawn before he put the flag down on the meter.
See, Rochester, if Mr. Coleman finds out I'm back from Palm Springs, no telling what he'll do. But I have to go to the studio. How am I going to get out of the house without him seeing me?
Well, let me see. I know.
What?
Get down on all fours, I'll throw the bearskin rug over you and lead you out of the house on a leash.
No, that wouldn't work. Now, suppose he comes over to pet me.
I'll leave the muzzle off so you can bite him.
I'd probably break my tooth on his garter, silly. But I got to get out of the house without Mr. Coleman seeing me.
Say, boss, I know what you can do.
What?
You've still got your old Charlie's Hand costume. Why don't you put that on?
Say, that's a wonderful idea. If I'm dressed like a woman, he won't recognize me. You take it, Rochester. I'll go in and put on my Charlie's Hand costume.
Yes, sir. Mr. Benny's residence, star of stage, screen, radio, and will accept the nomination for any party that'll let him rent out rooms in the White House.
Hello, Rochester. This is Miss Livingston.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston. How did you enjoy your 2-week stay in Palm Springs?
Oh, wonderful, Rochester. I was on the golf course with Mr. Benny every day.
I know, and Mr. Benny said you owed him $4.35.
That's right.
I didn't know he could beat you.
He didn't beat me. He caddied for me.
Oh.
By the way, Rochester, how does Mr. Benny feel now?
Much better, but when he got home from Palm Springs, he was green. What made him so sick?
Well, he stopped at an orange juice stand that said all you can drink for 10 cents, and we had to roll him back in the car.
Oh, so that's what it was. He woke me up when he came sloshing into the house.
Well, Rochester, please tell Mr. Benny that I'll pick him up in a few minutes on my way down to the studio.
That'll be fine, Miss Livingston, but would you mind waiting for him down on the corner?
On the corner? Why?
Mr. Benny will explain it to you when he sees you.
All right, Rochester. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Are you decent, boss?
Yeah, come on in. Rochester, how do I look in my Charlie's Aunt costume?
Well, let me see. You've got the wig on straight, and your curls tumbled down over your forehead in a tantalizing manner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your mascara is just heavy enough to accentuate the blue in your eyes.
Good, good.
Your lips have the red glow of a summer sun as it slowly sinks into the peaceful Pacific.
Well.
And your... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
You better pull up your shoulder straps. Your hair on your chest is showing.
Oh, nobody will notice that when I wear my shawl. Oh, my goodness, look what time it is. I better get started for the studio.
I told Miss Livingston to pick you up on the corner.
Well, that's a good idea. Gee, I hope nobody recognizes me. Rochester, does this dress really make me look like a woman?
Boss, if this was Mother's Day, you'd be lousy with flowers.
Good, good. So long, Rochester.
Goodbye.
A little chilly. I'm glad I wore the shawl. A pretty girl is like a melody. Da 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 da. Gee, if I pass Georgie Jessel, I'm dead. But it'll be interesting. Well, as soon as I get in Mary's car, I'll take off this dress and... Oh, my goodness. Here comes Ronald Coleman walking this way. I just put down my head and crossed the street. Gee, that was close.
You better be careful, lady.
Huh?
May I help you across the street?
Well, thank you very much. But I can manage by myself.
Well, let me take your arm.
Well, all right.
Am I walking too fast for you, Mother?
No. Well, here we are across the street.
Yes, now watch the curb. Up's a daisy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coleman.
Oh, you recognize me?
Yes. Now I have to run...
Would you like my autograph?
Oh, not now. I'm in a hurry.
It'll only take a minute.
I'm sorry, but I don't have a pencil or a paper. I really haven't.
Oh, I don't need pencil and paper. I have them written out on little cards. You know, the demand has been quite heavy lately.
Oh, then I'll take one.
No, take two. Give one to your husband.
Thank you. He's dead. He'll be thrilled.
By the way, madam, am I the first movie star you ever met?
Well, no. I once met Charles Farrell, star of Seventh Heaven.
Charlie Farrell. No. Must have been before my time.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Mr. Coleman. You're my favorite actor. You're my favorite actor.
What was that?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gosh, that was a narrow escape. I don't know how much longer I could have held out. There's a fly under my wig. I'll get him. I'll comb him out later. Now, let me see. Rochester said that Mary would pick me. Oh, here's Mary's car over there.
I beg your pardon, madam, but I'm with...
Mary, it's me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack, what are you doing in that outfit?
I had to put it on so I could sneak out of the house without Ronald Coleman recognizing me. It's a good thing I did, too, because I bumped into him.
Well, I just saw Ronnie, too.
Oh, my goodness, if he saw you, he'll be sure to know that I'm around.
Oh, he didn't see me, Jack. He just walked by the car and threw his autograph in the back seat.
The back seat? Oh, yeah, here it is. Well, what do you know? This one has glue on it so you can stick it on your windshield. Come on, Mary, let's go.
Jack, you're not going to the studio dressed as Charlie's aunt, are you?
No, Mary. I have my suit on underneath. I'll slip the dress off while you're driving.
No, Jack, don't take it off. I want to remember you just the way you are.
What?
The way your curls tumble down over your forehead in a tantalizing manner.
Say, Rochester said the same thing.
And your mascara is just heavy enough to accentuate the blue of your eyes. That's
funny. He said that, too.
And your lips have the red glow of a summer sun slowly sinking into the La Brea tar pit.
Mary.
I'll bet he didn't think of that one.
No, he didn't. Now, come on, let's hurry to the studio. I got to get this dress off before we get there.
Jack, I'm going into my dressing room. Call me when you start the rehearsal, will you?
Okay, I'll see you later. Da-da-da-dum, da-dee-da-dee-da-dum, dum-dee-dum. Oh, there's Mel Blanc. Hello, Mel.
Hello, Jack. Are you going to use me on your show today?
No, Mel. I spent too much money in Palm Springs. Maybe next week, huh? So long, Mel.
So long.
That's all, folks.
He's a clever guy. It's a shame he won't work cheaper. Oh, well, da-dee-da-dum, da-dee.
Hiya, Jackson. Long time no see.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Hey, Jackson.
What?
Let me look at you. You know your stay in Palm Springs did you a lot of good? You're 2 inches taller.
What?
You're
darn it, I forgot to take off these high-heeled shoes. But, Phil, no kidding, I sure missed you on our last 2 shows.
I know.
What?
You need me, Jackson. You need me.
What do you mean? I got big laughs, didn't I?
Yeah, you got laughs, but there was something missing. You know, your program without me is like a Persian rug. It looks good, but it just lays there.
Phil.
Look, Jackson, you tried it without me for 2 weeks. Now, have you learned your lesson?
What?
If you can't take the talent with you, stay where the talent is.
Phil, shrinking violet. Look. How can you possibly be so egotistical?
I ain't egotistical, Jackson. I just say if you got an effervescent personality, let it fizz. Let it fizz.
Well, if that doesn't stop the air conditioning, nothing will. Now, Phil, this week we got a very important show, so let's get started with the rehearsal.
Okay, I'll be waiting a minute, Jackson. I want to go in and run over Dennis's song with him.
Okay, I'll come along with you.
Come on. All right, man. Hold it. Let's run through Dennis's number once more. All right, come on.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. One day, a magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, This he said to me. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in
Very good, Dennis. That song sounded swell.
Thanks, Mr. Benny, but I think the orchestra should have played it with just a little more rhythm.
I guess you're right, Dennis. Oh, Phil.
I'll take care of it. Hey, fellas, when we do the number on the show, play it a little bit more pistachio.
That's pizzicato. Pistachio. When we give you the wrong word, you can't pronounce it. Say, Dennis. Say, Dennis, what time, Dennis, what... Say, Dennis, what time did you get home from Palm Springs Sunday night?
Oh, I didn't get home Sunday. I got home late Wednesday and almost missed my own show.
But you left Palm Springs Sunday night. What took you so long? Did your car break down?
No, but I ran into a lot of traffic in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City? Dennis, why did you go from Palm Springs to Los Angeles by the way of Salt Lake City?
I wanted to avoid the traffic light in Banning.
Well, that's logical.
But that wasn't the only reason. I also wanted to break in my new car. My mother gave it to me for my birthday.
Hey, congratulations, kid. When was your birthday?
Last week. And I had a swell party, too. Refreshments and dancing and games like post office.
Well, who was there?
Just me.
Yes, you. Dennis, how could you dance and play games all by yourself?
It's done with mirrors.
Oh, fine.
Me having two shows I can understand, but this kid's a mystery.
Dennis, why don't...
Hey, Jack, Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Well, hiya, Livy. You ravishing, gorgeous one, you.
Hello, Phil. Say, Jack, the drugstore just sent back the pictures we took in Palm Springs.
Oh, good, good. Let's take a look at them.
Here's a picture of me taken near the pool in my bathing suit.
Hey, let me see that, Livy.
Here you are.
Well, Scotta-hoo, Scotta-hey. Oh, say, that's really a gorgeous bathing suit.
Oh, it's nothing.
That he can see, believe me.
And, Phil, here's one of Jack in his bathing trunks.
Let me have a figure of that. Oh, no. No. Oh, no, no.
What are you laughing at?
You look like a spider with 4 legs, mister.
All right, Phil, you can stop fizzing.
Hey, Mary, can I see that picture of Mr. Benny?
Here you are, Dennis.
Gee, I don't know what Phil was laughing at.
Thanks, kid.
For a Spidey, you look pretty good.
Well, now, I don't know whether you fellas are kidding me or not.
Say, Jack, we better start rehearsing. We go on the air pretty soon.
Yeah, let's get going, Jackson. The music's all ready.
Good. And now Hey, wait a minute. Where's Don? Oh, Don.
Well, here I am, Jack.
Well, Don, it's getting kind of late, and we have to... Don. Orange juice stand?
No, I always look like this.
Well, look, Don, we've got practically everything ready but the quartet. Did you rehearse them?
Oh, yes, Jack. I've got a great surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yes, for weeks now, your quartet's been rehearsing an operatic number, but they needed a soprano for the lead.
Uh-huh.
So I took the liberty of asking Miss Dorothy Kirsten to come over and join them.
Well, I think it was very... Dorothy Kirsten? You don't mean Dorothy Kirsten of the Metropolitan Opera?
Yes, Mr. Benny, and here I am.
Miss Kirsten, this is indeed an honor and a great privilege having an operatic star like you on my program.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. Coming from a violinist of your reputation, I consider that quite a compliment.
Well, speaking of my violin playing, I really shouldn't take too much credit for a talent that comes naturally.
Some talent. Your father used to tie a flat iron on the end of your bow so you could practice the violin and press pants at the same time.
Mary, please. Oh, Miss Kirsten, this is Mary Livingston.
How do you do, Miss Livingston?
How do you do?
And this is Dennis Day.
Hello, Dennis.
Glad to know you, Miss Kirsten.
Dennis, you must be very proud to be associated with a man of Mr. Benny's stature and importance.
In a bathing suit, he looks like a spider.
Mr. Day. He's such a kid. You know?
Oh, Miss Kirsten, I wanted to tell you that I saw you in Madame Butterfly Wednesday afternoon, and I thought your performance was simply magnificent.
Well, thanks awfully. It's awfully nice and kind of you, Mr. Wilson. But who could help singing Puccini? It's so expressive, and particularly in the last act, starting with the Allegro vivatissimo.
Well, now that's being very modest, Miss Kirsten, but not every singer has the necessary bel canto and flexibility or range to cope with the high tessitura of the first act.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And don't you think that in the aria Un bel di vedremo that the strings played the con molto passione exceptionally fine and with great sostenendo?
Well, I thought...
Oh, shut up.
Mary, that's not cricket. Now, I was only trying to be sociable, that's all.
Gee, Miss Kirsten, I wish my mother was here. She'd enjoy meeting you. She's a singer, too.
Oh, is your mother a soprano or contralto?
She's a baritone.
Dennis, please. Miss Kirsten, as I understand it, you're going to sing a number with my quartet. Is that right?
Yes, we've rehearsed all week, didn't we, boys?
Well, this is really a big event on my show, Miss Kirsten. I'm certainly thrilled having you, but pardon me, Don, step over here a minute, will you? Don, how much is Miss Kirsten, how much is she going to charge me?
Well, lean over, Jack. I'll whisper it to you.
Whoops. She gets more than Mel Blanc. Well...
Mr. Benny, I hope you're not concerned about the financial arrangements.
Oh, no. That is, I'm not worried for myself. I'm worried about the rest of my cast. They'll have to take a cut, you know. Miss Kirsten, what number have you and the boys prepared?
The quartet from Rigoletto.
Oh, well, that should be wonderful on the show. May we hear it now?
Certainly.
Don, announce it now, just the way we're going to do it on the show, will you?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the privilege of bringing you the quartet from Rigoletto with the Sportsman Quartet, and starring Miss Dorothy Kirsten of the Metropolitan Opera.
Bella figlia dell'amore,
Amore,
la son dei vizi tuoi, Bende corricated vitals con poco. He strike me behind tobacco.
Quanto voglio vostro gioco, non vedete sorpresar.
Lucky for my cigarette.
Lucky per piangere lo
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, indeed, it is fine. All the men who know tobacco say that Luckies are divine.
Dorothy, I must call you Dorothy now. That was simply superb.
Thank you, Jack.
You know, Miss Kirsten, my mother wanted me to become an opera singer.
Well, it's a very exciting profession, indeed. But it requires intensive voice training. I studied 10 years.
In Milan?
No, do-wah-diddy.
It must be a town. Well, Dorothy, when you do this same number on the show, I'd like to ask you a favor. When you finish the number, don't leave the stage. We may want an encore.
Very well, Jack. And now there's something I'd like to ask you.
What is it?
Where did you get those darling open-toed shoes?
I'm sorry, I meant to take them off. It's a long story, but here's what happened.
Everybody on stage. The program goes on in 2 minutes.
Come on, Dorothy. Come on, kids. Let's give them a great show. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, the majority of American hospitals now have patients waiting to be admitted, and the situation in many areas is growing steadily worse because of insufficient nursing personnel. All young women between the ages of 17 and 35 who are high school or college graduates are urged to apply for admission in any one of the 1,300 accredited schools of nursing. Apply to the one nearest you. Thank you. Be sure to listen to the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show on Sundays and A Day in the Life of Dennis Day on Wednesdays. I want to thank Miss Dorothy Kirsten of the Metropolitan Opera for helping us out tonight. I also want to thank Ronald Coleman for helping me across the street. And now, if you'll excuse me, folks, my feet are killing me. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, and Lucky Strike alone, offers you important evidence gathered in the tobacco country by the world-famous Crosley poll. This evidence reveals the smoking preference of auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen, the men who really know tobacco. Here's what the Crosley poll found.
For their own personal smoking enjoyment, independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
These experts know their business. Their overwhelming preference for Lucky Strike, we believe, has a direct relationship to the quality tobacco we purchase for Lucky's and to the real, deep-down smoking enjoyment you may expect from fine tobacco. And when these veteran tobacco experts name Lucky Strike first choice for their own personal smoking enjoyment, then you know.
LSMFT. LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. So smoke the smoke tobacco experts smoke Lucky Strike. Remember,
independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are only 8 more programs left in the current Lucky Strike series, at this time I would like to pay tribute to a man who for the past 30 weeks has brought joy and happiness into millions of American homes.
Don't forget the 569,000 trailers. You know.
A man whose wit, charm, and personality have endeared him to the hearts of his public.
Keep going, Don. We have a half hour.
A man who is loved, admired, and respected by every member of his cast.
How true.
A man who every year at this time picks up our options, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, since you brought the matter up, I suppose you received the contract I mailed you for next season.
Yes, I did, Jack, and I'm not quite satisfied with some of the clauses.
Huh?
After serving you faithfully for 14 years, I'm surprised that you had the effrontery to present me with a contract that was not only insulting, but relegates me to a position that no self-respecting man would accept.
Well... And just what is your complaint, Mr. Wilson?
Well, here's the situation, Jack. Now, you get a lot of laughs at the expense of my being fat.
Uh-huh.
And this year, my weekly salary has been at the rate of $2 a pound.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's only fair that next year I get $3 a pound.
$3 a pound. Don, I wouldn't give you $3 a pound if all your fat was trimmed off and you were hanging on a hook. Anyway, the raise I offered you is as high as I can go. Now, what do you say?
I can't sign the contract now, Jack. I'll have to talk it over with the little woman.
Oh, you and the little woman. Haven't you got a mind of your own?
Yes, but I respect my wife's opinion. I'm very devoted to her.
I see.
After all, I'm at home with her every day except Sunday.
Well, I can fix that, too. Now, look, John, I've been very fair about this whole thing, and Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What are you talking about?
Oh, Don isn't satisfied with his new contract for next season.
He isn't?
No.
Oh, my goodness. And after all you've done for him.
Well, that's the way it goes, Mary. There isn't much gratitude in this business.
Why, John Wilson, you ought to be...
Never mind, Mary. Thanks just the same. By the way, have you read your new contract?
Yeah, what are you trying to do, bring back slavery?
Oh, so I'm going to have trouble with you, too. What's wrong with your contract?
I don't like Clause 7.
Clause 7? Oh, Mary, I mean, it only happens once or twice a year.
I don't care. If you buy a turkey, kill it yourself.
Mary, can I help it if I'm sentimental?
You're not sentimental. When you pay for a whole turkey, you hate to chop anything off.
Oh, stop.
Sentimental. You even use the head for badminton.
I stopped doing that. I mean, I couldn't stand the way it came over the net staring at me. Anyway, Mary, you've got a lot of nerve complaining about your contract. After all...
Hiya, Jackson. Hiya, Don. Hello, Livy.
Hello, Phil.
Phil, it's about time you got here. What made you so late?
It ain't my fault, Jackson. I had plenty of time to get here, but just as I left the house, Alice fainted.
Oh, my goodness. That must have scared you to death.
Nah, it happens every time I kiss her goodbye.
Oh, brother.
That's what she said as she hit the floor.
Phil, do you really have that effect on Alice?
Jackson, she won't even let me shave with a mirror. She don't want my love divided.
Well, if I paid you by the pound, your head would ruin me, you know. Now, look, just pick up your baton and let's have a band.
Hold it a minute. No, you don't, Jackson. I ain't making with no downbeat till I talk to you about that new contract you sent me. My lawyers don't like it.
Your lawyers, who are they?
Hershey, Bagby, Fletcher, and Fink.
Well, Phil, just what is it you and your lawyers object to in the contract?
We don't like the clause that says I got to get to bed on Saturday night before 3 a.m.
Well, it's for your own good, Phil. After all, you have a program to do on Sunday. I want you to look bright and fresh.
I know, but if I lose that red glow in my eyes, I ain't got no personality.
Phil, I've been playing badminton with a turkey head for 2 years, and it looks better than you do. Anyway, I'll talk to your lawyers about your contract later. But right now, let's have a band number.
Okay, Jackson. What would you like to hear?
Henry Bussey, but I'm stuck with you. Now, go ahead. Play anything. Hold a minute, Phil. Come in. Well, look who's here.
Pardon the intrusion, Mr. Benny.
Hello, Mr. Kitzel. Well, Mr. Kitzel, it's certainly nice to see you.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I wonder if you could spare a ticket to your next week's broadcast for my uncle who's visiting me from the East.
Oh, you have an uncle visiting you, eh? What part of the, what part of the East is he from?
Pomona.
Oh. Well, anyway, Mr. Kitzel, I'll be very glad to give your uncle a ticket.
You are wonderful, boy. You know, for this, he'll give you a box of oranges. He owns an orange grove.
An orange grove? Oh, of course. Pomona is in the citrus belt.
Belt, suspenders. During the drought, he lost his pants.
Oh, well, that's too bad, huh?
Thank you. Anyway, Mr. Benny, I hope my wife will have better luck.
Your wife?
Yeah, she's opening a restaurant on Olivera Street called Mama Kitzel's Adobe Hacienda.
But, Mr. Kitzel, that's Spanish. Can your wife cook Spanish food?
She specializes in tamales with sour cream, enchiladas with chopped liver, chili con corned beef, and Spanish smorgasbord.
Spanish smorgasbord. What's that?
A herring that's taking a siesta on top of a slice of onion.
Well, that sounds novel. Huh?
And the tortillas, you'll be crazy about it.
The tortillas?
Yeah, that's a crepe Suzette that shouldn't happen to a dog.
Well, Mr. Kitzel, let me know when you open your restaurant. I'll come down and visit you.
Buenos dias, senor.
Goodbye.
What did I say?
I don't know. I think... Mama Kitzel's Adobe Hacienda. That's a cute name. All right, Phil, let's have the number, will you? To a band number. Yes, sir. That was a new look played by Phil Harris and his Gin Rummy Orchestra. 18 rummies full of gin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our...
Say, Jack, where's Dennis?
Dennis, I don't know, but I hope he gets here pretty soon. I want to talk to him about his new contract for next year.
A new contract for Dennis?
Yeah.
I thought you had him signed up till next Haley's Comet.
Well, it's the same contract, Mary, but I added a new clause.
Hey, Liv, you should have seen the clause Jackson tried to get into my contract.
Never mind.
What was it, Phil?
If I ever find a dime, before I can spend it, I got to call Jackson and find out if he lost one.
Phil, I did that for a gag. Where's your sense of humor? I mean, just because... Hey, maybe that's Dennis. I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Hello, Rochester. What do you want?
I've been listening to the program, boss, and it occurred to me we haven't discussed my contract yet.
Well, Rochester, you've been working in my house for 10 years, and I feel there's no necessity for a written contract. Everything is perfectly clear. We have what is known as a verbal agreement. Now, that means we have a mutual understanding. Why put things on paper? The amount of money involved is too small.
That's what I mean. Let's get it up.
You'll be taken care of. And believe me, Rochester, there's no necessity for a written contract.
But my attorneys advised it, whereas and to wit.
Your attorneys, who are they?
Remus, Bemis, Sugarfoot, and Smythe.
Well, tell Remus, Bemis, Sugarfoot, and Smythe to get in touch with Kirchie, Bagby, Fletcher, and Fink. Let them handle it.
It's the same firm. They got a branch on Central Avenue.
Well, anyway, Rochester, you've got nothing to worry about. I'm giving you a substantial raise next year.
Substantial?
Yeah, you know what the word means, don't you?
I ain't illiterate. I'm skeptical.
Well, you're getting it, so don't let it bother you. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
Are you still going to have company for dinner tomorrow night?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you reminded me. You better run down to the store and get a leg of lamb.
A leg of lamb? Why don't you get a turkey?
Why?
After dinner, they may want to play badminton.
No, just get a leg of lamb and a small squab. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now, let's see. Where were we? Oh, Don.
Yes, Jack?
I think right now would be a good time for a commercial.
But, Jack, the quartet isn't here. How are we going to get laughs?
Why, it's simple. Remember a few weeks ago when you did the commercial wearing that old straw hat? People loved it.
I know, Jack, but we don't want to do that again.
We don't have to, Don. The idea is to give the people something different.
What do you mean?
Now, look, every announcer in radio reads his commercial standing up at the microphone.
Well, how else can you do it?
You can lie down.
What?
Go ahead, Don. Lie down on the floor. I'll bet you the audience will be crazy about it.
Oh, but, Jack, I think it's silly to do a commercial lying down on the floor.
But it's different, Don. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Lie down.
Oh, okay.
But do it gently now. You know, we don't want to just... Don, we don't want to disturb the seismograph at Berkeley, you see. Now, Don, I'll hold the microphone down to your face. There. Now, go ahead, Don. Read the commercial.
Oh, okay. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, yes? Fine tobacco. And in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. So smoke tobacco expert. Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Don, talk louder. The radio waves aren't getting over your stomach.
I've been smoking Lucky Strikes for nigh on to 25 years. Because I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
All right, folks, wasn't that clever? You see, Don? You see, Don, you did get laughs. And I got a Lulu for next week. You're going to read the commercial with your head sticking out of a cement mixer.
Say, Jack.
What?
While you and Don were doing that classy commercial, a note came for you.
A note? Who's it from?
Dennis Say.
From Dennis? What does it say?
It says, Dear Mr. Benny, my mother won't let me be on the program until she talks to you about my new contract. Your loyal subject, Dennis Say.
Well, how do you like that?
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. There's more.
More?
Yeah. P.S. I found a dime today. Please let me know as soon as possible, as a good humor man is waiting.
Imagine Dennis not showing up. He's supposed to sing. What are we going to do for a song, Don? I mean, my contract with Lucky Strike says I've got to have a song every week.
Oh, Jack, I've got an idea.
What is it, Don?
Well, Frank Sinatra's rehearsing a special broadcast in Studio B, and maybe he'll come over and help you out.
Sinatra?
Yeah.
say, that would be great. Oh, Mary, will you please go over to Studio B, and if Sinatra's there, ask him if he'll come over, will you?
Will I? I'll be glad to. Gee, am I excited? I better see if my stockings are straight. Or maybe Frankie'd like it better if I'd roll them down. There. That'll do it. Let's see. Studio B is at the other end of the hall. Da-da-da-da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-da-da. No, that's Jack's tune. He's liable to sue me. Gosh, I bet millions of girls all over the country would love to be in my place right now, going to see Frank Sinatra. But I don't feel any different. It hasn't the slightest effect on me at all. Steady, girl. Steady. Well, here goes.
All right, fellas. Let's rehearse But Beautiful once more, huh?
Love is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. It's a good thing, or it's bad, but beautiful. Beautiful to take a chance, and if you fall, you fall. And I'm thinking I wouldn't mind at all. Love is tearful, or it's gay. It's a problem, or it's play. It's a heartache either way, but beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were mine, I'd never let you go. And that would be but beautiful, I know.
Thank you very much, fellas. That was great, man. That'll be enough for today.
Frank. Frankie.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Frankie. Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you. Gee, you sure look gorgeous today, Mary.
Oh, steady, girl, steady. Say, Frank, I came to ask you to step over to our studio. Jack would like to see you.
Well, that's a coincidence. I was just going over to see him myself. Yeah, I'm a little peeved at him. He's ruining my singing on the hit parade.
Well, I don't understand. How can Jack hurt your singing?
I can't hit those high notes anymore. He puts too much starch in my collars.
Oh, well, that's Rochester's fault. Jack's specialty is rough dry.
Well, that isn't my only complaint, Mary. Yesterday, my bundle of laundry came back and 2 of my handkerchiefs were missing. And they were the handkerchiefs that Crosby gave me for my birthday.
Well, how do you know they were the handkerchiefs Bing gave you?
They had chloroform on them.
Well, Jack doesn't want to see you about the laundry. He'd like to have you sing a song on his program.
Today?
Yes, right now.
Well, okay. Come on, let's go over and we'll have a talk with him. Where's Jack broadcasting from, Mary?
Right here in Studio C. Let's go in.
Okay. Wait a second, Mary. I'll open the door for you. Thanks, Mary.
Oh, that's all right. I killed kill turkeys, too.
And listen, Don, if Fred Allen thinks he's that funny, he's got... Oh, hello, Frankie.
Hi, Jack. Do you want to see me?
Yes, come right in. By the way, you know my gang, don't you?
Sure, yeah. Where's Don Wilson?
Any place you look. Hey, Don, here's Frank Sinatra.
Well, hello, Frankie.
Holy smoke, I'm surrounded.
Yeah, there's quite a difference in your size.
Oh, I got a goose pimple bigger than him.
Don, lie down, please. Now, Frank, I'll get right to the point. You see, Dennis couldn't be here today, so I'd like to have you sing a song on my program.
Well, I don't know.
It's strictly business, Frank. I mean, I intend to pay you.
You're going to pay?
Certainly. Frank, what are you doing?
I'm calling RKO. This is another miracle of the bells.
Well, you can hang up and we'll talk business. Now, how much would you want to sing just one song?
$5,000.
Why doesn't he fall down? I know he fainted.
Mary, please. Well, look, Frank, for $5,000, you sing both the verse and the chorus of a song, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Now, look, Frank, most people don't know the verse anyway. Now, what would you charge? What would you charge for just the chorus?
$3,000.
Well, you know, we wouldn't need a whole chorus. I wouldn't want to be cut off the air again. Now, Frankie, how much would you charge me for, say, 16 bars?
$1,500.
Gee, that's almost $100 a bar. Can't you give me something a little less expensive?
Well, for $10 I can blow my nose and see sharp. That might help you out a bit.
No, Frankie, I know you're short 2 handkerchiefs, you know.
Now, look, Jack, what's the use of dickering? My price is $5,000.
But, Frank, let's compromise. Look, I'll give you $500.
5,000.
501?
4,999.
502?
4,998.
503? Mary, what are you doing?
I'm calling Paramount. This is going to be another lost weekend.
Never mind. Now, Frank, since we're so close to an agreement on price, why don't you just do your song and we'll settle it after the program? I mean, we shouldn't haggle in front of the audience, you know. It makes you look cheap. You know? Now, come on, sing your song. Huh?
Well, okay, Jack. But who's going to accompany me?
Phil Harris's orchestra.
Oh, no. No, not that.
Well, wait a minute, Frankie. A few weeks ago on my show, they accompanied Bing Crosby.
I know, but he already made his.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll accompany you on the violin and Frank Remley on the guitar.
Frank Remley?
Yeah. That's Phil Harris's nature boy. Now, I'll get my violin. Oh, darn it. Excuse me, Frank. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Billy. This is Rochester again.
Oh, what is it this time, Rochester?
Well, I'm listening to your program, and I just heard Frank Sinatra.
That's right. He's here. What about it?
Boss, you've got to get an Oscar to give back to Mr. Coleman.
Yes?
Well, Mr. Sinatra won an Oscar a couple of years ago with a picture called The House I Live In.
Say, that's right. He did. Gee, I wonder if he'd lend it to me.
He might if he hasn't thrown it away.
Now, why in the world would he throw an Oscar away?
Could be jealousy. It weighs more than he does.
Gee, Rochester, I'm glad you told me about it. By the way, I think you're putting a little too much starch in Mr. Sinatra's collars. He looks like a dehydrated Herbert Hoover. Be careful, will you?
I will. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Now, look, Frank.
I'm all ready now, Jack. You get your violin.
Look, Frank, let's hold the song for a minute. I want to talk to you about something very important.
What is it, Jack?
No, not here. Let's go out in the hall.
Okay.
Now, Frank, I'm not going to beat around the bush. As you know, I lost Ronald Coleman's Oscar, and I've got to get one to replace it.
Yeah?
Now, you won an Oscar, didn't you?
Yeah, we want it for the house I live in, Jack.
Well, look, Frankie, you can do me a great favor. I'll only need it for a few weeks. You see, I got to get an Oscar back to Ronald Coleman before he comes
Hey,
over.
would you guys mind moving over? We're trying to vacuum this hall.
In a minute. They're always cleaning up around here. Now, Frankie.
Yes, Jack.
I've never been in such a spot in all my life. I'm not asking you to give me the Oscar. I just want you to lend it to me until we
Now,
get...
look, you guys. I'm trying to vacuum this corridor. I'm asking you once more to move.
Look, don't be in such a hurry, Bud. Now, Frankie, look. How about it? Let me have your Oscar.
Well, Jack, as long as you're in that kind of a spot and it's only for a few weeks, maybe I can arrange...
Frankie. Darn it, he got too close to the vacuum. Now I'll have to go outside and wait till they empty the bag. Everything happens to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, savings bonds are vitally important in the nation's battle against price inflation and for the future welfare of all of us. It is important that we continue to build financial security for ourselves and for our children. Protect your future. Buy extra security bonds now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack will be back in just a minute. But first, here's Basil Rysdale.
Independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
American. The famous Crosby poll has just completed an impartial survey in 11 southern tobacco states. This poll, taken among tobacco experts, reveals the smoking preference of men who really know tobacco. Yes?
For their own personal smoking enjoyment, independent tobacco experts again name Lucky Strike first choice. Lucky Strike first choice over any other brand.
These are the experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen, and we believe their overwhelming preference for Lucky Strike has a direct relationship to the quality tobacco we purchase for Lucky's.
You've heard the poll results. Now, listen to what Mr. Carl Hartfield, 29 years an independent tobacco buyer, recently said.
At auction after auction, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco. Good ripe leaf that's got real smoking quality. I've smoked Lucky's 28 years.
So, for your own real, deep-down smoking enjoyment, remember...
LSMFT. LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Gosh, where could they have emptied that vacuum cleaner? I've looked in every rubbish can in the alley there. Frankie, where are you? Well, he's not in this one. Go away, Kitty. I'm working this side of the alley. Frankie! Well, there's nothing left for me to do. Next week, I'll just have to go over and apologize to Ronald Coleman.
Ronald Coleman?
Yes. Good night, folks.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
From Hollywood, the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. Written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Alice has decided to take the children to Palm Springs for a few days. Phil is unable to go, so her brother William is driving them down. As we look in, Alice is saying goodbye to Phil.
I hate to leave you home all alone, Phil. Just think, I'm going to be gone for 3 whole days.
Yeah, goodbye. Bye.
Stop pushing. Phil, you don't sound like you're going to miss me.
Oh, honey. How can you say that? With you away, this house will be an empty shell. Every place I look, I'll see you. The memory of your face and the echo of your voice will linger in every nook and cranny. And I promise...
for heaven's sake, Philip, stop being so corny. You're such a square. Shake hands with Alice and tell her goodbye.
What do you mean, shake hands? I'm going to kiss her goodbye.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't. Every time you do that to my poor sister, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Stop it, Willie. Phil, are you sure you're going to miss me?
Oh, what a silly question. Of course I am. While you're gone, I won't know how to spend the weekend. I'll be lost.
Oh, Willie, did you hear what Phil said?
Yes, he said he's planning on spending a lost weekend.
Willie, you're being a nasty little man. One more crack like that and I shall retaliate.
You won't dare strike me.
I'll do worse than that. The next time you have an angel food cake in the oven, I'll stomp on the kitchen floor. Look, don't worry about me, Alice. I'm going to be working over the weekend anyway. In fact, I'm having the band over tonight to rehearse some classical numbers.
Classical numbers?
Yeah, you know, stuff like Beethoven's Fifth and Schubert's Moonshine Sonata.
Oh, well, as long as the boys are just coming over here to work and not to play poker all night, okay.
Oh, you know we wouldn't do that. We would... Uh-oh. Come in. Alice, I assure you that the boys are just coming over to work.
Mr. Harris, I got the stuff you ordered for tonight.
What stuff?
Carton of ice cubes, 4 fresh stacks, 2 cases...
Wrong house! Get out! Get away! Come back later.
So you and the boys are going to work tonight, huh?
Yes.
And what are the cards for?
Oh, the cards. Oh, yeah, the cards. Well, they're card stunts like they have at a football game. You see, the musicians will hold the cards up in front of them, and it will form a full head of Petrillo. With teeth.
Oh, I see.
I wish my old lady was that gullible.
Now, Phil, the card stunts might make sense, but do me a favor. Explain the ice cubes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm anxious to hear this one myself.
We use the ice cubes for sound effects.
Oh, I see.
I don't. Explain it, Bud. Explain it.
All right. We just happen to be going to rehearse first the waters of the Minnetonka. And in order to get the proper effect, we have Remley breathe on the cubes, and when they melt, we get a dripping sound.
Phil, I have to hand it to you. That's not bad.
It ain't good.
Just one more thing, darling. What's in those 2 cases?
The case. The one on the left is a case of clarinet reeds for the woodwind section.
Since when do reeds come in bottles?
Oh, honey, don't be silly. It's the newest thing. It keeps them airtight and fresh. Isn't that right, mister?
Oh, yeah. You see what it says on the bottle, lady? Lager Reeds. The reeds that made Milwaukee famous.
Mister, I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't mention it. I got a nosy wife.
Phil, that's a case of beer, and I doubt if you can explain that.
I bet I can.
I'll bet you can't.
I'll take part of that bet, lady. This guy is pretty good.
I guarantee I can explain the beer. And I say now, the beer. Well, that's for the woodwind section. They dip their reeds in to soften them up.
And now tell me, what's in the other case?
That's something to soften up the brass section. Now, are there any other questions?
Yeah. What do you want me to do with the 6 dames I got in the truck?
Now, that I didn't order.
I know, but just for fun, let's see how you get out of that one. You like that for my old lady?
Will you get out of here? Look, honey, please, why don't you and Willie go upstairs and start the packing, will you? Go ahead, I'll answer that door. Hey, hiya, Frankie.
Hey, Curly, I'm raffling off a turkey for Thanksgiving. Can I put you down for 10 tickets at $1 apiece?
Well, I don't know. That's a little high for a turkey raffle.
Well, seeing you're my best friend, I'll tell you what. I'll sell them to you at half price, 50 cents apiece.
Okay.
Here's the tickets.
Here's the money.
Thanks. Too bad you didn't win.
What do you mean I didn't win? Wait till I hold a raffle, will you? Now, when is the winner going to be picked?
Last night.
Serves me right. I should have known better than to get roped on something that you're selling. Who's the guy that ran this raffle?
By some strange coincidence, it was me.
Uh-huh. And who picked the winning number?
By an even stranger coincidence, I did.
And who won the turkey?
Any more stupid questions?
Look, I don't understand you, Remley. How can you do a thing like that?
I didn't do it for me. I did it for you and Alice. You've been inviting me over for Thanksgiving dinner every year, so this year I'm going to supply the turkey.
That's very nice of you, Frankie, but Alice already bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, and we've already got it. It's in the freezer.
All right, we'll save that one for Christmas. Let me surprise Alice with my turkey. I got it out in the car. I'll go get it.
All right, go get it. Do you need me to help you?
No, you stay here and sing.
Frankie. Ooh, you're asking me to sing.
Well, why not? I'll be outside and won't hear it anyway.
Go ahead. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Oh, Mr. Engineer, let's hear that whistle blow to let 'em know we're on our way to Idaho. Hey there, fella, soon we'll be in Pocatello and then Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Chi, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. What a trip, it's terrific on that Union Pacific. What a change from those covered wagon days. If those old 49ers had these up-to-date streamliners, they'd commute clear from Butte to Iowa. So hey there, fella, here we go through Pocatello and there's Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Chi, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Well, pardon me, folks, but if you ain't observed, I'd like to announce that our dinner's served, and glancing at the menu, I am proud to say the chef is really cooking up a mess today. The full-course dinner is a work of art, and I most highly recommend our a la carte. The dining car is open and it's straight ahead. The first one there is the first one fed. Now, it's the custom here, though it ain't the rule, that if you wait, then you wait in the vestibule. And folks on the counter, we aim to please. We're the latest and the greatest in facilities. I just got word from the engineer. The green light is shining and the track is clear. We're breaking every record and I ain't surprised, 'cause she's a mighty locomotive and she's dieselized. From east to west, from coast to coast, the Union Pacific is the foremost. So hey there, porter, when we pass Nebraska's border, get my suits out, lay my shirts and western boots out. If I'm going west today, might as well go all the way. Yippee-i-o, let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go, let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go, let's choo-choo to Idaho.
Curly, is it all clear in there? You still singing?
Yeah, just finished. You can come on in.
Well, here she is. How do you like her?
How do you do, miss? I'm always glad to meet a girlfriend of Frankie. Now then, where's the turkey?
Don't be a wise guy. This is the turkey.
Oh. With your girlfriends, it's kind of hard to tell. The last one you had looked like a unicorn.
She did not look like a unicorn. Just seemed that way because her head came to a point.
All right, Remley, look, will you listen to that? We can't keep a live turkey in the house. Get old Tom out of here.
Curly, please, don't call her old Tom. Charmaine happens to be a lady.
Charmaine? Ooh la la, French turkey yet, huh?
She's very sensitive. You better apologize to her.
Oh, by all means, I shall. I beg your pardon, madame.
Mademoiselle. She's not married yet.
Well, propose to her and get her out of my house. Look, if Alice sees a live turkey in her living room, she'll yell blue murder. You can't keep
She doesn't have to see her. We'll hide Charmaine in the closet until after Alice leaves. We'll surprise her when she gets back from Palm Springs.
All right, anything. Come on, Frenchie. Now, get in there. Get in there. Look, Frankie. Oh, listen to that. We'd better tie her up and gag her so she won't make any noise. Now, come on and get in there and help me and close that closet door so nobody overhears it. You and a live turkey.
Well, Willie, I guess I'm all packed. Will you ask Phil to help carry the suitcases to the car?
Very well, Alice. I'll get him. If I were Alice, I wouldn't trust Philip home alone. He needs a keeper. He's nothing but a middle-aged juvenile delinquent. Philip, Alice wants you to come out to... Well, that's funny. I could have sworn he was here in the living room.
I never
Somebody's in that closet. I wonder who it is. I'll just sneak up and listen.
Hey, Curly, will she be all right in here? She won't smother, will she?
Nah. She'll be all right. Now, look, Charmaine, don't make a fuss, and we'll let you out as soon as my wife leaves.
Charmaine? He's got a woman in there.
Charmaine, will you please stop squirming like that and leave... Ouch! Remley, she bit me.
She's a wild one, too. I'm going to put a stop to this right now. I'm going upstairs and tell Alice he has a woman in the house.
Hey, Curly, I think I heard somebody out there. Sound like Willie.
Oh, blabbermouth. Certainly, he'll run right up and tell Alice and spoil our surprise. Look, we better hide that turkey in the den. Now, come on, Charmaine. Get out. Come on.
Oh, Alice, have I got something to tell you? Wait till you hear this.
Well, calm yourself and tell me. What is it?
Alice, I'm not one to start trouble between you and your husband. But it gives me a great deal of pleasure to inform you that Philip is unfaithful.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Philip has a French hussy named Charmaine hidden in the living room closet.
Oh, Willie, stop being ridiculous.
If you don't believe me, look in the closet yourself.
I have no intention of looking in the closet.
But, sis, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for 9 years. This is our chance to divorce the old cotton ball.
Now, Willie, I want you to stop trying to come between Phil and me with your wild stories. I'm going downstairs and say goodbye to Phil.
Do me a favor, Alice, and look in that closet.
I will not. I trust Phil implicitly. Some wives would be suspicious, but I'm not that kind. I'd no more think of snooping around.
Oh, there you are, Alice. Hi, you all ready to go?
Yes, dear. I just came in to say goodbye.
Well, so long, honey.
Have a nice time, dear.
Remley, let go of her. Take care of yourself, dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye now.
Now, how did I ever happen to walk into this closet?
It's a natural mistake. You've only been living here 9 years. How should you know where the front door is?
Well, so long, fellas.
Yeah, so long. Bye. Alice, the door ain't behind the curtains either.
Oh, I'm a little confused. Well, so long.
Curly, what's she doing under the couch?
Kissing her mother goodbye. Short change. Hey, Alice, what are you looking under that couch for?
Oh, is this the couch? I guess I'm getting nearsighted. Well, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Hey, she finally found the door.
Yeah, this kid knows what she's doing every minute. Oh, what now? What can it... All right, come in.
Hi, Mr. Harris. My name is Homer Feinschreiber, and I just flew all the way out here from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I run a pool room back there. I'm a nice guy. I mind my own business. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. But the last few days, my wife has been driving me crazy. She's hysterical.
Well, I can't...
She just lays there in bed and screams at me. She won't get up and cook my meal. She won't iron my shirt.
I've got my
The other morning, she leaned down and kicked my youngest son, Wilbur.
Well,
That's going too far.
I don't know.
But it's all on account of you.
Well, I can't...
I really don't know me. I have no right to come breaking into your beautiful home like this, but you've got to tell me something so I can go back and tell my wife, Mr. Harris, what is the thing?
Look, buddy, I'm a busy man. I don't know what I did. Look, go back and tell your wife that the thing is...
Mr. Harris, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your wife was rehearsing her song.
Look, Brimley, I got live turkeys, people breaking in from Altoona. What are you trying to do to me? I can't stand all this trouble. Why don't you take that turkey of yours and give it to somebody else? After all, I told you, we got a turkey in the freezer.
Yeah, but I'll bet the turkey Alice bought ain't as good as mine.
It looks pretty good to me.
What do you know about turkeys? I'll look in the freezer, and if that bird isn't as good as mine, we'll keep Charmaine and get rid of yours.
All right, go ahead and look at it. All this darn fuss over a turkey.
Just as I thought I knew I'd catch you with a whoa. Oh, you're all alone.
That'd have been a lot bigger laugh if you'd have waited for the door to open. But as long as you're here, what now?
Well, before I go, dear, there's something I want to say.
Well, say it, will you? What are you waiting for?
For the band to pick up their instruments.
Oh.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye. And just to show that I care, I will write and declare that I'm on the loose, but I'll stay on the square. I'll be lonely, but even though I'm lonely, there'll be no other guy. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye.
Although I know that you care, won't you write and declare that though on the loose, you are still on the square?
I'll be lonely, but send that rainbow to me, then my shadows will fly. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Hey, Alice, that was wonderful. You have a remarkable voice.
She certainly has. It's amazing how much she sounds like a quartet at times.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, well, go already.
Well, bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
They certainly were anxious to get rid of me.
I wonder if he does have a woman. No. I know he hasn't, but just to make sure, I'll sneak back and listen. I'll make believe I'm going out the front door. Now, to tiptoe back and see just what's going on.
I thought that wife of yours would never leave, Curly.
Yeah.
You think she suspects anything?
No. How could she possibly know anything about Charmaine?
He does have a woman in the house.
Well, Frankie, look, after comparing the two, what do you think? Should I keep Charmaine?
Naturally. There's no comparison between Charmaine and that old hen you got.
Old hen? I'm only 29 and a half.
Besides, Charmaine is nice and plump.
The old hen I got's pretty fat, too.
I put on a half a pound and right away I'm a tub.
Look, Frankie, maybe I ought to keep the one I got.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Charmaine is young. That one you got has seen better days.
True.
Besides, I pinched them both, and Charmaine has a lot more meat on her.
I don't know about Charmaine, but he's never laid a hand on me.
All right, Remley, look, I'll keep Charmaine. I got to admit, she looks a lot more tender.
If Charmaine had 2 children, she wouldn't be so tender either.
Hey, wait a minute, Frankie. If I do keep Charmaine, what am I going to do with my old turkey?
Give her away to some charity. Give her to the Musicians Union.
Musicians Union? Do you think they'd take her?
They'll take anything.
That does it. Calling me a turkey. If he wants to get rid of me, he can. I'll go upstairs and pack the rest of my things and leave him for good. I'll show him he can't talk to me.
Miss Faye, I brought it. Why, Miss Faye is just crying. What's wrong?
Oh, Julius, it's Mr. Harris. He's brought another woman named Charmaine into the house.
Another woman? Ah, Miss Faye, let's keep our heads. Do you honestly think your husband is the kind of a heel who would bring another woman into your own home? Do you honestly think that?
Well, no, I don't.
I do. Have you seen the Charmaine dame?
No, I haven't, and I don't want to. I heard Frankie and Mr. Harris talking about her, and I'm leaving.
Now,
him.
wait a minute, Miss Faye. Don't be hasty. This might all be a misunderstanding. Before you decide to leave Mr. Harris, you should take a lot of time to think this over.
Well, maybe
Time's up! Go upstairs and start packing. On your way before you change your mind.
I'm going upstairs and start packing right now. I heard him planning to get rid of me.
Ooh, that beast. I wonder how he's planning on getting rid of Miss Faye. Is he going to divorce her or just throw her out in the street?
I don't know why I ever got a thing in the
Uh-oh,
first place.
here he comes. I'll just duck behind here and maybe I can overhear his plans.
Well, Curly, as long as you decided to keep Charmaine and get rid of the other hen, let's make plans.
Yeah. I don't want to run around the house alive.
When is Alice coming back from Palm Springs?
Wednesday night.
Good. I'll bring the axe over Wednesday morning.
Axe? Them cold-blooded murderers is going to kill her.
Frankie, I can't use an axe on her. That's too cruel.
Well, I'm glad to see he has some decency.
Let's tie her to a stake and fill her full of buckshot.
Oh, I hope they at least blindfold her.
Curly, I don't like the buckshot idea.
Why not?
Some of the pellets might get in our teeth when we eat her.
Peter, this is more than I can stand. Stop where you are, you cannibals!
Julius, what are you doing in here?
I overheard you planning to kill Miss Faye.
What are you talking about, killing Miss Faye? We're going to kill Charmaine.
Oh, you tire of them fast, don't you? What are you killing her for?
So we can have her for Thanksgiving dinner?
Can't afford a turkey, huh?
Oh, be quiet, will you, kid? Hey, Curly, I got an idea. When we bring Charmaine in for dinner Thursday, I think Alice would like it if we dressed her first.
Look, Remley, that's going to be too much trouble. Now, let's bring her in undressed.
The least you can do is put a kimono on her.
A kimono on Charmaine?
All right, then. Make it a French bathing suit.
Oh, yeah, what a...
That wouldn't look nice. Her pin feathers would stick out.
This dame has pin feathers?
Oh, Julius, will you stop already? What, dame? Charmaine is a turkey.
A likely story.
We can prove it. She's right here in the den. I'll show you.
I'll be darned. It is a turkey. This upsets all my plans.
What are you talking about, plans? Plans? What do you mean, plans?
Miss Faye overheard you talking and thought you had a dame here. She's upstairs packing to leave you.
Leave me? Oh, no. Come on, Frankie. We got to explain this to Alice. You and that turkey.
Nuts. This'll ruin everything. Miss Faye expects to find a French dame. Now when she opens the door, she'll only find a turkey. Or will she? A quick phone call might keep this ugly mess an ugly mess.
Alice, will you please believe me? For the 10th time, I tell you Charmaine is a turkey.
How do I know you're telling me the truth?
I'll open the door to the den and you'll see that it's a turkey. Now, there you are, Alice. This is our turkey. Gobble for my wife, Charmaine.
Gaboo, gaboo, gaboo.
Help! Frame up! I demand a recount. Oh, no.
Wow. Look what our little turkey has grown up into. Yum, yum, yum.
So this is your idea of a turkey, huh?
But, honey, when I put her in there, she was a turkey. She must have come out of her cocoon or something. I never saw this dame before.
Oh, Sherry, how can you say that about your little Charmaine? You like me, do you not? Hmm?
Look, lady, I got no time for that right now. How'd you get in here? Who put you in this room? Oh, Julius, grab him, Frankie. We'll have him for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, you tear his drumsticks off and I'll
stuff him. Folks, starting today, our program has wonderful news. Listen to this. The Hedda Hopper Show. Hedda's guests tonight are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman, Mario Lanza, Andy Devine, and Arlene Dahl. It's the Hedda Hopper column come to life. Stay tuned for it, and best wishes, Hedda, from Alice and me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips.
Yes, listen now for the Hedda Hopper Show on NBC.
Blue Ribbon Beer presents Blue Ribbon Town, starring Groucho Marx, with his special guest, Jack Benny. Come on down to Blue Ribbon Town, where you'll down your daily care. Come on down. With Jack Benny visiting us, there's plenty of excitement in Blue Ribbon Town tonight. Ready and eager to greet their famous guests are Faye McKenzie, Bill Days, Leo Dorsey, Robert R. Brewster and his Blue Ribbon Blenders, yours truly, Ken Niles, and the leading citizen of Blue Ribbon Town, our happy host of hilarious hijinks, Groucho Marx.
Gosh, Faye, this is certainly a red letter day in Blue Ribbon Town with Jack Benny coming to visit us.
Certainly is, Bill.
Say, Groucho, you never did tell us what your visit to Jack Benny last Sunday was like.
I had a wonderful time, and his rates weren't too high either.
Oh, Mr. Marx, you don't really mean that Jack Benny charged you.
I don't know, Bill, but that was the first time I ever sat in a rocking chair with a meter on it. But I must say, the dinner Jack prepared was very nice. He had a beautiful golden brown turkey on the table.
Say, that was very generous of Jack.
Yes, it was. A very unusual turkey, too.
What do you mean?
It was the first turkey I ever ate made out of grape nut flakes.
Was the stuffing good?
Yes, it was. If you like more grape nut flakes.
Well, did you meet Phil Harris? I think he's awfully cute.
Yes, he is. Cute and ignorant. You should have heard what he told me when I asked him if he liked the songs of Rimsky-Korsakov.
Why? What did he say?
He thought they were a great team and wanted to know which one did the lyrics, Rimsky or Korsakov. And when I asked him about Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite, he wanted to know what hotel it was in. Well, everybody knows it's the ambassador.
Hey, Marcy, is our extinguished guest here yet?
Well, everybody's entitled to one mistake, and here's Mother Nature's. Leo Gordon.
Hey, Marcy, I just heard you talking about Phil Harris. You know, he's an old schoolmate of mine. Gee, I ain't seen Phil since we was in the 5th grade together.
You ain't?
No, just think. 2 whole years has fled by. Say, Marcy, did you enjoy yourself at Jack Benny's house last Sunday?
Yes, I did, Gorsey, but I'm always glad to be back here in Blue Ribbon Town with my own happy little family.
You're right, Groucho. We are one happy little family. I like you so much, Groucho.
And I like you, Faye.
And I like you too, Mr. Mark.
And I like you, Bill.
And Marcy, I like you likewise.
And Gorsey, I like you lengthwise. But really, kids, I am fond of you. Ah, my happy little family. I feel like taking you all in my arms. You, Bill, and you, Gorsey, and you, Faye. Hey, Bill, why don't you and Gorsey get out and make more room for Faye? Jack Benny's main reason for coming up here is to get a complete vacation. He's mentally worn out from doing his radio show for so long.
I can understand that. Jack Benny's certainly been on the air a long time, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Why, Benny's been on the air so long, he can remember when John wasn't even married to his first wife.
Well, what do you want us to do?
I don't want you to mention a single word about radio to Jack Benny, or to do anything that will even remind him of radio. You see, Benny has radioitis.
Oh, I get it. You mean he's allergic, huh?
Gorsey, I bet you don't even know what allergic means.
Hey, certainly I do. Then he's allergic to radio like I'm allergic to jail.
Allergic to jail? I don't quite see the connection.
Well, every time I'm in jail, I break out. See you later, Marcy.
Well, Faye, while Gorsey's breaking out of jail, why don't you break in the song?
I'd like to, Ken. I'll sing Suddenly It's Spring from the Paramount picture, Lady in the Dark. Why is my heart dancing, imagine dancing? You look at me and suddenly it's spring. Why do I keep sighing, not sighing, just sighing? I'm young and free and suddenly it's spring. On a hilltop, love is calling. Someone should wish me happy falling. No more being lonely. Can I be lonely? You look at me and suddenly it's spring.
I'd like you to meet a man.
There goes Niles again, bringing another pat-pappy poet. Who is it this time, Niles?
Well, this is Simon the Swami. He's a crystal gazer and a very jovial person.
A jovial crystal gazer, eh?
Yes. How does he strike you?
I don't know how he strikes me, but I'd sure like to strike him.
You would? Why?
I've always wanted to strike a happy medium.
Silence.
I'm Simon the Swami. My marvelous crystal can tell you if Mama is packing a pistol and whether the step you are planning to take will land on a pillow or poison a snake. But these days I work gazing carefully through our gun sights for errors. I find very few. And during my leisure, I comfortably peer into crystal clear glasses of blue ribbon beer.
All over America, when people sit down for an hour or two of comfortable leisure, they always seem to call for a glass of mellow, delicious Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Since 1844, we've brewed and sold some of the world's finest beers. And today, Pabst Blue Ribbon is the finest of all. Pabst, you know, is full flavor blended from 33 fine brews. And there's a whole century of brewing skill and knowledge in every delicious drop. Order it with confidence. Serve it with pride. For no matter where you go, there is no finer beer, no finer blend than Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Well, I'm glad the kids are all left. I want Jack Benny to feel like he's really going to get a rest from radio. Oh, there's Benny now, pulling out in a taxi cab. I'll open the door for him.
But, driver, 35 cents. Can't be over 7 miles from here to the station. Well, all right.
Oh, hello, Groucho. Well, if it isn't Jack Benny, the last of the Waukegans. Come on, Jack, come into my house. Relax and make yourself comfortable.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And, Jack, I want you to know that I told everybody in town that you're here for a rest and that they're not to mention anything about radio.
Thanks again, Groucho. I appreciate that. You know, Groucho, to me, you're just a friend. I've never regarded you as a radio comedian.
Don't look now, Jack, but you just lost a friend. Well, now that you're here, you may as well start relaxing. Just sit back in that easy chair there, and I'll get you a little snack I've prepared over there on the table.
Oh, good. I could eat a little something.
Here you are, a bowl of your favorite grape nut flakes.
Well, gee, thanks, Groucho. Wait a minute. You're supposed to pour cream over them, not Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
You take care of your sponsor, and I'll take care of mine.
Hey, Groucho, this is swell. It's the first time in years I've been able to have 2 minutes to myself without someone talking shop.
Jack, the word radio isn't ever going to be mentioned around here. Say, how about the music? I'll turn on the, yes? How'd you like to listen to the vacuum cleaner? Maybe I can pick up Stardust.
No, I'd rather just sit here and take it easy and talk about other things than, you know what.
Suits me.
Well, what would you like to talk about, Groucho?
Oh, anything you'd like to talk about, Jack.
Well, I'd like to talk about anything you'd like to talk about, Groucho.
Well, that settles it. We'll talk about women. Say, how are you and Gladys Zabisco? Are you still that way about each other?
Gladys?
Yeah.
No, we've, shall we say, fifth? Pardon me, I didn't mean to serve it.
Well, that's too bad, Jack. Oh, by the way, Gladys was a waitress, wasn't she?
Yeah. Gosh, I'm really broken up about it.
You really liked her, Jack?
Yeah, I loved her. Gee, she was cute. Used to get a lot of tips, too.
Well, that is true love. Oh, well, that's enough about women. Say, there's a great trout stream near here, Jack. How about you and me doing a little fishing?
No, I just want to relax.
No fishing?
No fishing.
All right, and let's talk about women again. Say, Jack, remember that little dance that we both went for when we were in Vaudeville? What was her name again?
You mean Lena Hackenbush?
Yeah, little Lena. Remember little Lena Hackenbush?
Yeah. I also remember that nasty trick you played just because she liked me better than you.
What do you mean?
Well, Lena always went for athletic men, and what she admired most about me was my flat, trim waistline. So you try to convince her that I wore a girdle.
Not true. I never said you wore a girdle.
No, you never said it, but every time I was out alone with her, you'd sneak up from behind and snap me.
Well, well enough for reminiscing, Jack. How about going for a little walk and really seeing Blue Ribbon Town?
No, Groucho. I just want to sit here and relax.
No walking?
No walking.
Well, back to women again. Say, by the way, Jack, I have a picture of you and Lena Hackenbush upstairs that was taken 20 years ago.
Gosh, Groucho, 20 years ago.
Would you get it for me? Gladly, Jack.
Say, is that the one where Lena's running her fingers through my hair?
That's the one.
Gee, I'd love to see Lena again.
And I'll bet you'd love to see your hair again. I'll get the picture and be right back. Well, Mr. Benny.
Yes, young man.
Mr. Benny, I'm Bill Days, one of Mr. Marx's happy Blue Ribbon Town family.
Glad to know you, kid. What's on your mind?
I sing.
Well, that's nice. When Groucho comes down, you can sing for him.
But I don't want to sing for Groucho. I want to sing for you, Mr. Benny.
Sing for me? What for?
Well, gosh, after you hear me, I know you're going to want me on your program.
Look, kid, I came here to forget radio. Didn't Mr. Marx tell you not to bother me?
Yes, but, gee, I couldn't help it. Being on your show gives a person so much prestige.
Look, kid, You really think it does?
Yes, I do. Gosh, Mr. Benny, you're just about the best there is in your field.
Am I? Would you mind saying that a little louder, Bud?
Louder? Why?
Fred Allen doesn't hear as good as he used to.
Yes, Mr.
Older,
Benny.
you know.
Yes, Mr. Benny, you're absolutely top. The greatest there has ever been. You just don't realize it.
Oh, I do, too. Well, go ahead, kid. Sing. I don't mind. Go on. Smart kid. Got good taste, too, this kid. Really has.
I used to be bewildered. Now I know why I go walking round in a wonderful glow. There's a lot. Here am I riding high on a hill, far away from the usual road, with a world of my own at my feet. All because fate was heavenly sweet. And of that we meet. Never dreamed in my wildest dream that I'd fall quite so wholeheartedly. Now I know love is all that it's cracked up to be. Well, do I get to be on your show, Mr. Benny?
Well, gosh, kid, I don't know. You're a tenor.
What's wrong with that? Don't you always have tenors? Kenny Baker, Dennis Day?
Yes, I never fail to have trouble with them about money. And then, kid, with tenors, you always have mother trouble. So tenors just seem to have mothers. I can't imagine why.
But gee, don't you think having a mother is pretty true of most people?
Yes, I suppose so. But with tenors, somehow it's worse. Tenors have mothers who look like fathers. Besides, I already have a contract with Dennis Day, an extremely fine tenor, so you can see nothing, absolutely nothing, could make me change my mind.
But for such an opportunity, Mr. Benny, I'd even be willing to work for nothing.
Please, kid, I'm not... I wonder if Dennis's mother would slug me if I broke his contract. Kid, you say you'd be willing to work for nothing?
Well, practically. I'd be willing to accept $40 a week.
$40 a week? Who do you think you are, Lawrence Tibbet? Why, Dennis only gets 35 now. He thinks he gets 186,000, you know. On the other hand, if you'd be willing to work for...
Hold on there, Benny. A fine thing, a guest to my house trying to steal my tenor. There's nothing lower than a man who'll steal a tenor, unless it's a man who'll steal a base. I wouldn't have said that, Benny, except that the baseball season's just about to start. And have to give me that line about not talking shop.
But Groucho, I didn't approach him. He approached me.
That's right, Mr. Marks. I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist the opportunity to get on his show. Do you realize that being with Jack Benny automatically means being a great success? Oh, I don't know. Well, it's true. Name one person on Jack Benny's show who hasn't become a famous man. All right. Mary Livingston. Now run along and let's not hear any more of this.
Well, Jack Benny, I'm certainly glad to see you.
Glad to see you, Ken Niles.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Benny, I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. Yes, sir, you need an announcer like me on your show.
You too, Niles?
Oh, quiet, Groucho. I'm talking to a radio star. You know, Jack, Don Wilson's not laughing like he used to. That booming quality, that wonderful chuckle, those real honest-to-goodness guffaws, he just doesn't have it anymore.
He doesn't?
No. Now, just try me out. I'll throw you a feed line for an old joke. Any old joke.
The way he throws himself at the man is degrading.
Let's see. Say, Jack, who's that lady I saw you with last night?
Oh, well, all right. That was no lady, Ken. That was my wife.
Isn't that wonderful? That's marvelous, isn't it?
Isn't it revolting?
Well, what do you say, Mr. Benny? Am I better than Don Wilson?
Well, I don't know. Wilson is fatter than you. He has more to laugh with.
Well, I admit Don Wilson's a lot fatter than I am, but name one thing he can do that I can't do.
Well, Wilson can take a shower without getting his feet wet. Niles, you don't want to really leave me, do you? I thought we were one big happy family here.
Yeah, but this is Jack Benny, the Jack Benny.
So I'm Groucho Marx, the Groucho Marx. So what?
That's what I say. So what?
I know how you feel, son. Sometimes I even try to forget I'm Jack Benny.
Yes, but it's such a thrill when he remembers.
Oh, Mr. Benny,
there must be a joke in here for me someplace.
You want me to help you look, Jack?
Mr. Benny, you haven't given me a chance. You haven't heard me do a commercial. Just listen.
Niles, will you get out of here and let Benny and me go back to what we were discussing?
Oh, women. Well, while you're on the subject of beautiful women, Groucho,
I defy you to make a commercial out of that one.
Don't be too sure. Did you ever stop to think that a beautiful woman is a perfect blend of lovely attributes? Her smile, her grace, her lovely face, and so forth.
There he goes with that magic word, blend.
It is a magic word, Groucho, especially when it comes to beer. You see, skillful blending of a number of different brews brings a smoothness and mellowness to beer that you just can't get any other way. Pabst, you know, is full flavor blended from no fewer than 33 fine brews. That's why a glass of Pabst is like an old friend. Its welcoming flavor is always the same, always delightful. Remember, there's a century of brewing skill in every delicious drop of Pabst Blue Ribbon. A 100-year tradition of hospitality in every sparkling glass. So, order it with confidence. Serve it with pride. For no matter where you go, there is no finer beer, no finer blend than Pabst Blue Ribbon. Well, there it is, Mr. Benny. Think it over. I'll be waiting for your answer. Toodle-doo.
Shall we dance? Fine, happy family I've got. That's the second trader who wants to desert me.
Isn't a fine rest having away from radio. I had to come back for that line, you know.
Oh, Groucho.
Hello, Faye. I'd like to...
you don't have to introduce him. Anybody knows this is Jack Benny,
Oh, I guess I am rather easy to recognize.
Oh, yes, I've seen you in pictures, and I could tell it was you by your kind eyes, your strong, manly jaw, your big, brawny arms rippling with muscles.
Would you mind saying that a little softer, please?
Softer? Why?
My draft board is listening in.
Oh, Mr. Benny, you do have such a nice physique. Such a trim, fit waistline.
Well, Groucho Marx, you snapped me again.
There's never a shortage of rubber around Benny.
You know, you're quite attractive, Miss Mackenzie.
Oh, thanks, but don't call me Miss Mackenzie. You can call me Faye.
I can?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you can call me Jaxie Poo.
And you can call me when my stomach returns to normal.
You know,
in about 3 months.
You know, Faye, now that I've met you, I'm going to hate leaving Blue Ribbon Town. Too bad you don't live in Hollywood. We could see more of each other.
Well, Jackie Pooh, I'd love to live in Hollywood if I thought I could find a job there.
Well, Faye Pooh, I'm a rather important man in Hollywood. I could probably line up some sort of a position for you.
Oh, Pooh, how wonderful. I know I'll be very happy working on your show.
Pooh? Was that Pooh or Pew? P-O-O. Well, Miss Mackenzie, I did not offer you a job on my show. I came here to forget my show.
Oh, but Jackie Pooh, how can you forget your show? A great comedian like you. Why, as far as I'm concerned, you're the grand old man of radio.
Don't let my gray hair fool you. I'm just breaking it in for a silver fox. Say, I'm really not old. It's just that I began my career so young, 30 years ago. Well, I was just a knee pan.
Yes, and he looked awfully funny. A grown man of 25 running around a knee pan. Running around a knee panty poo. Excuse me while I answer the phone. Jack, excuse me while I answer the phone.
That never happens on my show.
Everything happens on our show. Hello? No, goodbye.
Who was that, Groucho?
It was the wrong number. That's never happened on any other show before either.
Hiya, Marcy. Hiya, Mr. B. Say, I've been listening to your programs lots of times, and I think it's great.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed, Mr. G, but I don't care to discuss.
There's one thing wrong, howsoever. That guy, Phil Harris, detracts from the refinement and culture of the program.
You really think so?
There ain't a participle of a doubt. And believe me, the lack of culture is a terrible curse that should be visited on no man.
You're absolutely right, Gorsey Pooh. So please stop visiting me.
Not only is Phil Harris ignorant, but he also has a terrible vocal ferry. The guy knows nothing about nothing, especially grammar. Not only can't he conjugate conjugation, but he can't even subjunct subjunction. Boy, what a soliloquy. See, what you should do, Benny, is get someone to take Harris's place. Someone who's got class, refinement, and education. In other words, me.
That's more than I had on the whole program. After listening to you, Gorsey, Phil Harris sounds like Anthony Eden.
Well, I know my speech ain't so hot, but my writing is very audible. See on that, Benny. I'll see you later.
Some happy family I've got, Jack. Everybody has tried to leave me for your radio show.
Yes, in fact, Rochester was the only job that nobody wanted.
Yeah, some happy family, all right. What loyalty? They don't even know the meaning of the word. Loyalty, faith, semper fidelis is discouraging.
Oh, come, Groucho. Chin up. Carry on.
No, Jack. Without the loyalty, without the faith of those one holds dear, life becomes nothing but a hollow mockery, a sham. A mere existence, hardly worth continuing.
I wouldn't try so hard, Groucho. It's too late for the Academy Award. You know?
He just had scars that never felt a wound.
Oh, I know you're hurt, Groucho, but after all...
You're a good friend, Jack, but don't try to soften the blow. I'm disappointed in my so-called friend. Wanted to leave me to go with your show. It hurts, Jack. It hurts here. Now it hurts there, too.
There, Groucho, don't take it so hard.
I can't help it, Jack. There's only one thing left for me to do now.
What's that?
Mr. Benny, how about you all let me take Rochester's place?
Mr. Benny, if you want to hear how I deliver an important message on the show, just grab an earful of this. Neighbors, income taxes are vital to the support of our government. Right now, I'd like to let everybody in on a message I have here from Uncle Sam. He considers the prompt filing of income tax returns so important this year that he's asking everybody to find out what they owe him just as soon as possible. Don't wait until the March 15th deadline. Find out where you stand. You may owe more or less than you think. Get straightened out early. If you haven't received forms, write the office of your local collector of internal revenue immediately for forms and information. You can find out his address at your nearest bank or post office. If you need help with filing your returns, you can get it free of charge at the same office. But ask for it in time to avoid the rush. Remember, file early. It's more important this year than ever before.
Well, Groucho...
It's time for me to leave. I want to thank you for your hospitality.
It was nice having you, Jack. Thanks for coming down. You must visit me again sometime.
I'll be glad to. By the way, who's your guest next week?
Everett Horton. He's having trouble with his income tax, and he wants me to help him figure it out.
Doctor, I didn't know you were good at that sort of thing. Do you really know how to fill out those income tax
forms?
forms?
Oh, yes. In fact, I helped Dorothy Lamour with her income tax last year, and you know how well her form is filled out.
Well, good night, Groucho. Now, wait a minute, fellas. Get this very clever line they gave me to end the program with. Oh, this will be a scream. Wait till you hear this. Good night, Groucho. I'll be listening next week.
I suppose you think mine is any better, huh? Listen to the one they gave me. So long, Jack Benny. Thanks again. Good night, neighbors.
Want the real lowdown on how to laugh off your income tax, don't forget to listen to Groucho Marx telling Everett Horton all about it next Saturday. All the rest of our regulars will be on hand, so join in the fun and come on down. This program is directed by Dick Mack and is brought to you by the Fast Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Peoria, Illinois. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Palmolive Soap and Luster Cream Shampoo. Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope. Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, Bea Benaderet, George Dooning in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis to sing his RCA Victor recording of Clancy Lowered the Boom.
Now Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. O'Leary was the fighting man, they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, shooting off his guff. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before you could shout, O'Leary, look out! Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Clancy left the barber shop with tonic on his hair. He walked into the pool room and he met O'Reilly there. O'Reilly said, "For goodness sake, now do I smell perfume?" Before you could stack your cue in the rack, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. The neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night. McDougal said, "Let's have some fun, I think I'll start a fight." He wrecked the hall, then kissed the bride and pulverized the groom. Then quick as a wink, before you could think, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. I tell you, it was the grandest sight you ever did see when Clancy lowered the boom.
And now, here is a very important announcement. Palmolive Soap is giving away $67,000, a grand prize of $25,000 in one lump sum, or $100 a month for life. And that's not all. There are thousands of prizes in Palmolive's big treasure chest contest. 1949 Ford sedans, Westinghouse laundromats, Fromm Silver Fox scarves, Toastmaster toasters. Yes, 2,336 prizes in all. And it's easy to enter. Complete the last line of this jingle.
A fresher, brighter-looking skin is something I would like to win. I'll get Palmolive soap today. Di-da, 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 di-da.
Write your last line on a plain sheet of paper or get an official entry blank from your dealer, which gives you the easy rules. Include your own and dealer's name and address, and mail with the black bands from one regular and one bath-size cake of Palmolive soap to Palmolive, Box 92, New York 8, New York. And now, here's the jingle once more.
A fresher, brighter-looking skin is something I would like to win. I'll get Palmolive soap today. Di-da, 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 di-da.
Mail your entry blank with the black bands from Palmolive soap to Palmolive, Box 92, New York 8, New York. Enter early, enter often. Well, when Mr. Anderson was called out of town suddenly on business yesterday, his wife was heard to remark that now she and her daughter Mildred would be alone without a man in the house. And what puzzled our young hero Dennis Day is that she was looking right at him when she said it. But Mrs. Anderson could have been mistaken, for our hero has stepped into the breach completely, shouldering her husband's duties and responsibilities perfectly. Indeed, he's become the man of the Anderson household. If you don't believe it, just listen.
Dennis Day, will you please get through scrubbing that floor?
Yes, Poopsie.
And stop calling me Poopsie.
Very well, passion fruit.
Dennis, I'm warning you.
Gee, Mrs. Anderson, I'm only trying to keep you from missing your husband.
Well, you're not succeeding. Now let the rest of that floor go till later. I'm trying to work out the household budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Not that I ever will, with more going out every week than there is coming in. I tell you, trying to run a house with prices what they are, have you any idea what it's like to be a woman these days?
Oh, no, ma'am, and according to my birth certificate, I imagine I'll always be in the dark.
Well, it's awful. I swear I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. Especially when I have a boarder who's exactly 3 months behind in his room rent.
Oh, you've been keeping track too, huh?
I have. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. After the way I coddled you and catered to you. Didn't I spend practically all last Tuesday just shopping for a pillow for your bed?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sleeping on a pillow is fine, but it's really no substitute for a mattress.
You've got a mattress, and you know it.
Oh, sure. I know it's a mattress, and you know it's a mattress, but my stupid back thinks it's a marble slab.
The nerve of you complaining. Nobody could be nicer to you than I am. And what thanks do I get?
Gee, I'm sorry, Mrs. Anderson. If they're really bad, well, maybe you could rent my room to someone else.
Someone else? But where would you sleep?
I can sleep down in the cellar.
You actually mean that? You wouldn't object to leaving your room and sleeping in the cellar?
No, ma'am. If it means some extra money for you, I don't mind being a little more comfortable.
Dennis, you're an angel to make this sacrifice. I'll run right down to the newspaper office and put an ad in this afternoon's paper. You're positive now that you won't mind sleeping in the cellar.
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm already looking forward to that nice, soft cement.
You mean you actually persuaded Mother to let you leave your room and sleep in the cellar?
Sure. Gosh, if she's in financial trouble, Mildred.
Well, but are you sure you want another boarder in the house?
Huh?
Well, suppose he turns out to be tall and handsome, and very charming and intelligent and attractive to women.
Gee, I never thought of that. Imagine if two of us under the same roof.
Dennis, what's the matter with you? Don't you understand what I'm saying or why I'm saying it? Where's the green-eyed monster?
She went downtown to the newspaper office.
Not Mother. Dennis, you just take me for granted. I am a little attractive, you know, and...
Oh, so that's what you mean. But, gosh, Mildred, you wouldn't look at another man, would you, huh? Would you, huh?
Why should I tell you that? My goodness, a girl like...
Wonderful news, children. I've got a boarder for Dennis's room. $8 a week and the nicest boy.
Boy? Oh, my gosh, what's he look like?
Well, he's about 23, very good-looking, and a graduate of Harvard University.
The criminal type. He's got to go.
What?
He's a criminal, I tell you. I saw his picture in the post office. He's wanted for wife beating.
What are you talking about? He isn't married.
That's even worse. Beating a wife he's not even married to. Get rid of him.
Oh, stop that nonsense. Mildred, he'll be here any minute, and I've got to run down to the corner to pick up some things. So if he arrives before I get back, show him the room.
All right, Mother.
I'll see you later.
Mildred. I love you, girl. Mad for you. Mad. Do you hear? Mad.
What?
Take me in your big, strong arms. Squeeze me till I'm just a sodden mass of limp passion.
Why this abrupt change all of a sudden?
I don't know. Living in the cellar, perhaps. Maybe the change of altitude has given me the bend.
It couldn't possibly be the new boarder, could it? This handsome new boarder?
Oh, gosh, if he's really so good-looking and only 23 and everything...
Oh, you're cute. But you don't really have to be upset, Dennis.
No?
No, you know I only have eyes for you.
Yeah, but it's the rest of you I'm worried about.
Don't be silly. But maybe it is time you worried about me a little. You've been taking me...
Oh, I'll get it. Hello?
How do you do? I understand you have a room for rent.
Well, yes, sir. We did have one, but it's already... Wait a minute. How old are you?
Huh? Oh, I'm 41.
Gee, that's wonderful. You've got 1 foot practically in the grave.
I'm not sure I understand that, but I'm very anxious to live in your neighborhood. I'm prepared to pay $25 a week for that room.
$25 a week?
Well, 30 if necessary, and I...
30? Mister, you've got yourself a room. Come over in about an hour and it'll be all set for you.
Really? Well, my gracious. Thank you, young man. Goodbye.
Dennis, what have you done?
Wow, didn't you hear? I just rented him the room.
But Mother's already rented it.
I know, but this is an old man, Mildred. Girls to him are just people who don't shave.
I know that, and I realize $30 is a lot of money, but... Oh, my golly. I bet that's Mother's boarder. What'll we tell him? He'll insist on keeping the room.
Oh, no, he won't. We'll get him to turn it down. You just follow my lead, that's all. And don't you worry. Come in.
How do you do? My name is Clifford. I spoke to Mrs. Anderson about a room.
Oh, yes. Day is my name. Bring him back alive, Day. You know, the lion tamer.
The lion tamer?
Oh, sure. This is a boarding house for circus people. Didn't Mrs. Anderson tell you?
Why, no.
Oh, sure. Meet little Fifi here, our snake charmer. Hiss hello to Mr. Clifford, Fifi.
Hello. Well, shall we show Mr. Clifford to his room?
Yeah, I guess they've cleaned up the blood by now.
The blood?
Well, you see, Roscoe, one of my lions, got into your room the other night while the last boarder was sleeping there.
It was rather messy.
Yeah, Roscoe's a pretty young lion. Just a baby, in fact, and you know what sloppy eaters they are.
You mean this lion...
Uh-huh.
Yes. That's why I like my snakes. Remember the boarder before last, Mr. Day?
Oh, sure. It's much needed when a boa constrictor swallows them whole.
Oh, no.
Sure. Say, I hope you won't mind sharing the room for a day or two with Hugo. I'm breaking in a new act.
Hugo? Who's he?
My vampire bat. And you'll get along with him, though. Just keep him well fed, that's all.
What do you mean, well fed?
Oh, it's no problem. When you go to sleep, just leave your collar open.
Good heavens, I'm getting out of here. Goodbye.
Gee, what do you know? It worked.
Yes. Oh, Dennis, you were wonderful. Mother will be so proud of you.
Yeah, I guess she will.
What happened in here? Why did Mr. Clifford just rush past me screaming something about snakes and lions? What did you just say to him?
Does it matter, Mother? The good news is he isn't taking the room.
Isn't taking the room? That's good news.
Sure. You see, I've rented it to someone else.
What? I like your nerve. Whoever he is, he can't have it.
But he's a very nice man, Mrs. Anderson.
What do I care?
He has a charming personality.
Personality or not, he doesn't get the room.
And he'll pay you $30 a week.
How soon does he move in?
He'll be here in an hour. Ain't I a darling?
Oh, Dennis, you are.
We'll continue our day in the life of Dennis Day in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's Dennis to sing You Call Everybody Darling.
You call everybody darling, and everybody calls you darling too. You don't mean what you're saying, it's just a game you're playing, but you'll find someone else can play the game as well as you. If you call everybody darling, then love won't come a-knocking at your door. And as the years go by, you'll sit and wonder why nobody calls you darling anymore. If you call everybody darling, then love won't come a-knocking at your door. And as the years go by, you'll sit and wonder why nobody calls you darling anymore.
Well, Dennis finally made a big hit with Mrs. Anderson. He got rid of the man she rented his room to and rented it to someone else for a good deal more money. Mrs. Anderson is out shopping for additional furnishings now as Dennis opens the door to greet the new tenant, a very distinguished-looking gentleman, complete with cane and spats.
Oh, how do you do, sir? Welcome to Anderson Manor.
Oh, thank you. I spoke to you on the phone, I believe. My name is Franklin. Ben Franklin.
I'm glad to know you, Mr. Franklin. Your quarters are right upstairs, if I may lead the way.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Oh, I hope you like your room. There are several very nice features to it, which I will make up as we go along.
Well, I assure you I'm not hard to please and deceiving.
Good, because if you wanted something fancy like windows, we'd be in trouble. Now, there we are.
Well, how cozy.
Yeah, and notice you'll never have to sweep under the bed. The mattress is right on the floor.
It's simply delightful. I know I'll be very happy.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Franklin.
Edison, Thomas Edison.
Edison? But I thought...
Now, I suppose you'd like a little money in advance. Now, tell me, would $50,000 be satisfactory? Why not, you know?
Really, Mr. Edison,
Edison? Oh, Columbus is the name, Christopher Columbus. George, that reminds me, I nearly forgot. I need 3 smaller rooms, too, for the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Now, look here, Mr. Columbus.
Why, you're shaking, lad. Are you cold?
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, I have just the thing for you in my grip. You see that black bag over there? Bring it over and open it.
I'd rather not, sir. There may be someone in it, I know.
But an operation is your only chance, dear boy. Oh, you see that, don't you?
An operation?
Oh, it's vital. I'm certain it's the only way we can save the patient, Dr. Mayo.
Oh, You're right. I'll go get the ether.
Good. I'll be under it when you get back. Oh, and when you return, Dr. Mayo...
Yes, sir?
Bring your sister Virginia with you, huh?
Dennis, are you really sure? Beyond any doubt?
Positive. All the time I was in the room, he was going with his fingers.
Well, still, that doesn't exactly prove anything.
On my lips?
Oh, my golly, you're right. We better call the police immediately.
Oh, no. And have your mother find out I rented the room to a lunatic? I'm going to get rid of him myself.
But how?
I'm going to pretend I'm as goofy as he is, and then maybe he'll have confidence in me, and I can get him out of the house.
Oh, gee, I sure hope it works. Well, good luck, Dennis.
Boy, do I need it.
Yes, who is it?
President Truman.
Come in, Mr. President. Just a minute. You don't look like President Truman.
Shh. I'm in disguise. A lot of Southerners around.
Oh. Yes, I see. Well, to what do I owe this great honor, Mr. President?
We need you in Washington, sir. Immediately.
Really? Well, who'd have thought it with so many of us already there?
It's a matter of utmost importance. Remember that little talk we had in the White House last June about the canal?
Oh, I'll never forget it. What canal?
Why, the one from Florida to California to permit a free exchange of orange juice.
Oh. Yes, that's right. It needs digging, does it? Very well. Ben Franklin is at your service, sir. It's off to Washington. My kite can wait.
Good boy. Come on, let's go. We gotta hurry. The plane is waiting at the... Oh, my gosh. Mrs. Anderson.
Well, this must be our new boarder. How do you do, sir?
Oh, and this must be my landlady. Madame, I am charmed beyond words. Your beauty is as breathtaking as it is unexpected.
Oh, my, really?
Oh, you are exquisite, madame.
Well, Dennis, if he doesn't like your room, you might show him Mr. Anderson.
There isn't time now, Mrs. Anderson. We got to get out of here. We got a big deal on it.
No, my son. I'm afraid it will have to wait. The artist in me is stronger than the engineer. I simply must paint this lovely creature at once.
Paint me? Oh, how thrilling. You're a painter, Mr.
Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci.
And you want to paint me, Mr. da Vinci?
Look, Lenny, we got to get out of here.
No. I must put this golden girl on canvas immediately. Oh, that hair, the shape of that face. A perfect Helen of Troy.
Oh, my goodness.
But, Mr. da Vinci...
I'll go get my palette and brushes, my dear. Now, you fetch a white tablecloth to wrap about you. It will make a lovely toga. Quickly now, while I'm in the mood.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll be right back.
But there isn't time. We got to...
Now, don't argue, Harry. My mind is made up.
Oh, my gosh.
Dennis, what's wrong? Hasn't he gone?
No, and your mother's back, and there's no telling what'll happen. Quick, run down to the corner and bring back a policeman. Hurry.
Oh, my golly. Okay.
Oh, isn't this thrilling, Dennis?
Mrs. Anderson.
Do I really look like Helen of Troy in this tablecloth?
Mrs. Anderson, listen. This guy is a...
There you are, my dear, and all ready. Oh, you look magnificent. Now, let's see. Suppose we select a pose.
How's this?
No, not quite right. Could you bend one knee just slightly?
Like this?
Good. Now the other knee, too, a little.
So?
Excellent. Now, could you remove your head and place it between them?
Pardon me, I must have misunderstood you. Did you just...
Oh, my gracious, look. There's a young lady running across the lawn accompanied by a gentleman in blue. Now, I wonder who that could be.
Why, it's Mildred and a policeman.
Oh, thank goodness.
Dear. I fear President Truman has betrayed me. He must have learned that I'm really Tom Dewey.
What?
All right, now, where's the Luna? Uh-oh. What are you doing dressed up in that tablecloth, lady?
For your information, my good man, I'm Helen of Troy.
I see. Okay, let's take a walk, Helen.
That's my mother.
Sure, she's all right.
Yeah? Who are you? He says he's President Truman. Did you say that?
Yeah, but I was...
2 of them, huh? Okay, you can both come along.
No, wait. This is the man right here. He says his name is Leonardo da Vinci.
So what? Being a foreigner is no crime. Come on, Helen. Harry, let's move.
Now, look here. Oh, officer, you're making a mistake. If you'd only let me explain. Mother wanted Dennis to sleep in the cellar, so we frightened the other man away with the snakes and the lions in his bed and rented the room to Benjamin Franklin. Don't you see?
Yep. Get in line, sister. All right, the 3 of you. Let's go.
No,
please,
wait.
Stop pushing.
Well, goodbye, friends. Nice meeting you all. And don't take it too hard, Harry. Just look at the trouble Henry's having.
Dennis Day will be back in just 1 minute to sing Maybe You'll Be There. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, you can see this come true. Revealed by a luster cream shampoo. You'll see your hair lovelier, your wave or curls softer, more glamorous, easy to do quickly. Even in hardest water, luster cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, easier to manage, brilliant with sheen. Don't wait. Tonight, use luster cream shampoo. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty, magical cream. Discover why it's by far the top favorite cream shampoo. Get the big jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, you can be a
dream girl. You owe your to a luster cream shampoo.
Now, here is Dennis with George Dooning and the orchestra.
Well, gee whiz! Judy Caramba! Judy, what are you doing here?
Well, Dennis, my program starts on the air again next week, and I'll be on right ahead of your program.
That's right, Judy. Gee, this sure is a small world. Your sponsor is my sponsor, and your program and my program will be the Colgate Saturday Night 1 Hour of Fun.
Golly, Dennis, just think. You and me are both in the same family.
Gosh, does my mother know about this? Although I wouldn't mind having you for a sister, Judy. You're pretty.
Oh, shucks, you're just saying that.
No, I'm not.
Huh?
No, I'm not.
Well, somebody just said it.
Judy, I got to sing now, but don't forget, starting next Saturday night, I'll be following you.
Yeah, just whistle, and if I don't stop, it ain't me.
Thanks a lot, Judy. So long.
Now, with George Dooning and the orchestra, here is Dennis to sing Maybe You'll Be There.
Each night I see a crowd of people. Just like a fool, I stop and stare. It's really not the proper thing to do, but maybe you'll be there. I go out walking after midnight along the lonely thoroughfare. It's not the time or place to look for you, but maybe you'll be there. You said your arms would always hold me. You said your lips were mine alone to kiss. Now after all those things you told me, how can it end like this? Someday, if all my prayers are answered, anxious heart, I'll hurry to the door. And maybe you'll be
Next week, tune in to another Dennis Day Show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. Dentists know what cleans teeth best, and over 4,000 dentists say Colgate tooth powder with a 2-minute routine gets teeth sparkling and super clean. So, to remove dull film and get your teeth shining clean, just brush teeth 2 minutes morning and night with Colgate tooth powder. Brush inside, outside, and biting surfaces. Always brush away from the gums. See how quickly this gets teeth naturally bright. It removes dull film that improper brushing misses. And Colgate tooth powder also sweetens your breath. Try it. Buy Colgate tooth powder today. Listen again next week to Colgate's Hour of Fun. Hilarious Judy Canova, followed immediately by Dennis Day. 2 great comedy programs next Saturday evening over this same station. Vern Smith speaking. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
From Hollywood, Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle presents The Mel Blanc Show.
My lawnmower needs sharpening. I've got to take it to Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop. My white percolator top is cracked. I've got to take it to Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
Oh, my stocking has a run in it. I've got to take it to Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
My wife's going to have a baby. I got to take her to the hospital.
From Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you Mel Blanc at his own Fix-It Shop with Mary Jane Croft, Earl Ross, Joe Kearns, Victor Miller and his orchestra, and Mel himself playing those delightful characters Zookie and Dr. Crab. The star of our show, Mel Blanc. It's a lovely autumn morning in Mel Blanc's town. Population 7,500. Pardon me, population 7,501. The postman, Mr. Snoop, is making his morning rounds. The baker, Mr. Brown, is putting his rolls in the window. And in Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop, Mel is just about finished fixing Druggist Simpson's penny weighing machine.
Is the weighing machine all fixed, nephew?
Yeah, Uncle Rupert. I believe I'll try it. Must be something wrong.
Why? What does it say you weigh?
17 pounds. Do I look that thin?
Why don't you read the fortune anyway?
Oh, yeah. If you are a woman, you'll marry a man. If you are a man, you'll marry a woman. If you are married, try another penny. Oh, I forgot to push this lever up. Now I'll try it again. Oh, that's better. 120 pounds.
What's the fortune this time?
You are kind, understanding, friendly, considerate, gentle, and you make enemies too easily.
Oh, here comes that gossipy pipsqueak of a postman, Mr. Snoop. I'll go out for a walk, Melvin, if you don't mind.
Okay, Uncle Rupert.
Hello, Roop. Goodbye, Snoop.
Howdy, Mel. Hello, Mr. Snoop. Got a letter for me?
No. Did you expect me to write you one?
I didn't mean a letter from you.
Oh, well, just a second here. Oh, first of all, I want you to mend my mail bag. It's all bursted out at the seams.
Oh, sure, I can do that in a minute. Any mail for me?
Now, let me see here. Hodgkins, 805 North Elm Drive, Blodgett, 807. That's the third notice Blodgett's got from the library. Why don't you return that book? You know, I got a good mind to go up to Blodgett.
Any mail for me?
Oh. Let me see here. Simpkins, 809. Ooh, very interesting postcard. Dear Joe, if you've got any more...
Excuse me for saying so, Mr. Snoop. But I thought postal employees weren't allowed to read the mail.
Oh, well, that's right, Mel. Well, you ain't no employee. You read it for me.
Look, Mr. Snoop, any mail for me?
Now, stop poking round my letters. If there's anything I hate, it's nosy people. Let me see. Potter, 811. Oh, I say Mel.
Mail?
No, Mel. How about buying 2 tickets to the Postman's Ball Saturday night, huh? Only $1 apiece.
Well, I'd like to, Mr. Snoop, but I gave my last $5 to my uncle. I don't have a cent. Well, here's your mailbag all stitched.
What's the charge?
Oh, nothing. Gosh, I sure could use $2 for the tickets. I'd take Betty, and for once we wouldn't have to spend the evening in her parlor.
What's the charge?
Nothing. I'd dance with Betty, then I'd go out on the veranda and hold her in my arms. Then I'd kiss her and hug her.
What's the charge?
Nothing. $2, and I'll take the tickets.
Hello, Mel.
Hello, Betty. Gee, you sure look beautiful.
Yeah. All dressed up and no place to go.
What do you mean all dressed up and no place to go? Why, I'll take you to the, how about,
Well?
I'll take you home. You can change your clothes.
Oh, that's it. We never go anywhere. We spend every evening in my parlor. No wonder Father feels the way he does about it.
Well, I hate sitting in the parlor just as much as your father does.
You do?
Yeah, that love seat isn't big enough for the 3 of us. Well, anyway, Betty, I've got good news. We won't be spending this Saturday night in the parlor. I've got 2 tickets to the Postman's Ball.
Oh, Mel, this is awful. Because this is one Saturday night I won't be able to be with you.
But, Betty, why not?
Well, Daddy's expecting... Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Daddy himself. I'll let him tell you.
Hello, Mr. Colby. What did you say, Mr. Colby? Yes, it is a lovely day, isn't it? Mr. Colby, may I take your daughter to the Postman's Ball Saturday night? No, huh? But why not, Mr. Colby? Well, that isn't much of a reason.
What?
I mean...
Oh, now listen here, you dimwit. I'm expecting a very important man for dinner this Saturday night. Betty's got to prepare dinner for him and then entertain him.
You're making a regular nightclub out of your place, aren't you?
Mel.
This Mr. Fisher can help me a great deal with my supermarket. He's president of the Acme Portuguese Sardine Company. And do you know anything more impossible than getting Portuguese sardines?
Yeah, getting the sardines out of the can.
Oh. People come to my supermarket all day and say, do you have Portuguese sardines? Do you have Portuguese sardines? And all day I say, no, no, no. Well, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. You hear?
Mr. Colby, let go of my neck. I'm not a sardine.
Oh.
Well, if this Mr. Fisher is so important, you should really be alone with him to close the deal. So why don't I take Betty out to the dance?
Betty stays home Saturday night.
Well, what about me?
Well, you can go to the dance.
Well, thanks for changing your mind, Mr. Colby.
I haven't changed my mind. Now, listen, Mel. If you show up at my house or within 5 blocks of my house Saturday night, I'll...
Don't say any more. I've got an imagination.
All right, then use it. Come on, Betty.
Well, I'll be with you in just a minute.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Colby. Yes, it is a nice day, isn't it? Oh, gosh, Betty, this is awful. I sure killed our Saturday night date. This was going to be once we wouldn't spend it in your parlor.
Oh, Mel, you know Father. Father talks big.
Betty, Father is big.
Now, Mel, you listen to me. I'm inviting you to the house Saturday night, and if you don't show up, you don't have to show up ever again. Goodbye.
Bye. Gosh, Betty's father says no. Betty says yes. Oh, I'm just the pickle in the middle.
Don't take a chance with your romance.
Use Colgate tooth powder.
You know, anyone can be the victim of a little breath of trouble. I mean, unpleasing breath. It happens to thousands without their knowing, marks them down socially, makes them unhappy. So be on your guard. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate Tooth Powder. For Colgate Tooth Powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate Tooth Powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. What's more, no dentifrice at any price cleans your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate Tooth Powder. Remember to buy it first thing. And remember the name, Colgate Tooth Powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance.
Use Colgate Tooth Powder.
Well, here it is Saturday night. Mel still doesn't know whether he's going to use those tickets to the postman's ball. Betty says Mel had better come up to the house or else. And Betty's father, who is trying to get a shipment of Portuguese sardines, says Mel had better not show up or else. Anyway, right now Mel is in his fix-it shop talking to Betty's little brother Axelrod, who has just entered the shop.
Well, what's new, Axelrod?
Gosh, Mel, is my father mad at you?
Well, how do you know? Did your father say anything about me? Personally?
Well, I didn't hear anything.
You didn't?
No. Of course, whenever he starts to talk about you, he makes me leave the room.
Well, how about Betty?
Same way. While she was preparing dinner, she kept talking to the chicken and calling it Mel.
Well, that shows how much she loves me.
She said to the chicken, if you don't come up tonight, I'll...
Well, then what'd she say?
Nothing. She just dropped it in the boiling water.
Oh.
Well, so long, Mel.
Oh, so long, Axelrod. Gosh, what a mess this is. If I don't go to Betty's house, I'm a boiled chicken. If I do, I'm a dead duck. Uncle Rupert, I can't figure out why Mr. Colby doesn't like me.
Well, you read the fortune on your card. You are kind, gentle, observant, tolerant, and you make enemies too easily.
Well, you mean I should try to make a friend of Mr. Colby?
My boy, when I first met your aunt, I said to myself, I must make a friend of that woman.
And what happened?
That was the worst decision I ever made.
Maybe I ought to try it anyway. Why don't I go up there to Mr. Colby and be as nice...
Here comes that pompous Mr. Cushing, the president of your lodge.
Well, hello, Brother Mel. Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Greetings, mighty potentate. Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Well, just stopped in for a second to remind you about the next meeting of the Benevolent Order of Loyal Zebras.
I'll do my best to make it, mighty potentate. It's an honor for you to ask me personally.
Oh, not at all. I like to get around among my zebras. Say, why are you moping around like this? Why, when I was a young man, do you know what Saturday night meant to me?
I already took a bath, Mr. Cushing. You wouldn't understand.
Well, I can see you don't want to talk, so I'll say so long. Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Well, now, wait a minute. Anyone who gives the password like that is a worried zebra. Now, tell me, what's wrong?
Well, I wanted to take Betty to the postman's ball, and Mr. Colby wouldn't let me because he's entertaining the president of the Acme Portuguese Sardine Company. And he wants Betty to...
You don't mean Mr. Fisher, do you?
Yeah. Do you know him?
Why, of course, and you should, too. Fisher's the Grand Wizard of the Jennings Junction Order of Loyal Zebras. We are both imperial caliphs on the Executive Council.
You mean I'm his fellow zebra? I'm his lodge brother?
That's right. Go on up there and tell him so, and mention my name.
Oh, but Mr. Colby said
Colby won't touch you with Fisher there. Fisher's a swell guy. A man I'm proud to call a zebra. Well, so long, Mel. Just give Fisher the old password. Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo.
Ugga.
Oh, Uncle Rupert.
Yes, nephew?
Watch your shop, will you? I'm going to Betty's house, and I've got to go upstairs to change.
Just a second, Melvin. Here comes Dr. Crab.
Well, you take care of the dog doctor, will you, Uncle? I'll be right down.
All right. Good old Dr. Crab. He's been taking care of dogs so long he even talks like one. Ah, good evening, my good dog doctor.
Good evening to you, Rupert. I've been walking quite a bit, and I'm thirsty. Could I have a pan of water?
Why, sure. Say, Christopher, don't some people think it's funny when they hear you sound like a dog?
don't believe so, Rupert. Except maybe that man at the newsstand on the corner.
What did he do?
I bought a paper from him, and he put it in my mouth.
Don't tell me you carried the paper home in your mouth.
You know a better way?
This is Saturday night, Christopher. We're supposed to be closed, you know.
I know, but I thought I'd talk to Mel about a special lock from McKinnell's. My little terrier tried to run away.
Really?
Oh, yeah, but I caught him. I said to him, and he said, and then I said, and he said, I tell you, that dog is sensational.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, he understood every word I said. Well, thanks for the water, Rupe. My throat feels better already. Well, I'm beginning to sound like myself again. Bye, Rupert.
Goodbye. Good old Dr. Crab.
Well, I'm ready, Uncle Rupert. You can get Zuki to help you take care of the shop. Well, wish me luck.
Good luck, my boy. And it's very late. You'd better hurry if you want to make the dance. So shake a leg.
What do you mean, shake a leg? I'm shaking all over.
Oh, everything's working out just fine with Mr. Fisher, Betty.
That's good.
Yes, he loved the dinner. Said it was the softest chicken he'd ever had.
How right he was.
Huh? Oh, well, anyway. Now to carry out the rest of my plan. I'm going to get into a card game with him and let him win some money from me.
Let him win money from you. Daddy, is that proper?
Proper schmapper. I want those sardines. If he wins some money from me, he'll be in the right mood. Uh-oh, here he comes now. Mr. Fisher. Do you indulge in games of chance?
Well, sometimes I do, yes.
Ah, good. Then how about a game of sardines? Oh, I mean, gin rummy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Colby, but I don't like to play cards.
You don't like to play cards. Well, how about Pachisi? Monopoly? Axelrod, you got any chalk? We can even play Potsy.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Colby. Very obliging of you. But as a matter of fact, there is one game that I do play. But I warn you, I'm very good at it. It's checkers.
Checkers? So very good at it, eh? Axelrod, get the board and the checkers.
Okay, then.
Nothing like a good, rousing game of checkers, I always say. Hey, Betty? Oh, I wonder who that can be. Oh, never mind. I'll open it.
Hello, Mr. Colby.
Oh! Who was that?
Oh, just a salesman selling vacuum cleaners.
Well, let him in. They're very hard to get.
No, on second thought, it wasn't a salesman. Somebody I don't know. A Portuguese. Oh, I mean an Eskimo. Oh, I don't know.
I'll get it.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello, Mel. Mel, this is Mr. Fisher. Mr. Fisher, this is my fiancé, Mel Blanc.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Fisher. Ugga, ugga, boo, ugga, boo, boo, ugga.
What? Well, what do you know? A brother zebra. Ugga, ugga, boo, ugga, boo, boo, ugga.
You see, Mr. Colby, Mr. Fisher and I are friends. Friends.
So I see. Mr. Fisher, here's the checkerboard and the checkers now.
Mr. Cushing sent you his regards, Mr. Fisher.
Cushing? Oh, that's the real estate man. Oh, a great fella. You know, in our last executive council, he put on a lampshade and imitated Hedda Hopper. I tell you, I never laughed so loud.
Mr. Fisher! Here's the checkerboard and the checkers. We're all set up.
Well, you don't have to shout, though.
Yeah, you don't have to shout, old man.
I mean, here's the checkerboard all set up. Now, Mr. Fisher, how about playing a game for, say, $5, huh?
Well, that's okay with me. But I warn you, I'm a wizard at this.
Do you mind if I kibitz?
Mel, why don't you...
No, not at all, Brother Zebra. But you better help Mr. Colby there, because I won't need it. Okay, there's my move.
Very interesting. I'm trapped already.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Colby. Here's a move you can make.
Mel, why don't you close that window from the outside?
Well, Mr. Colby, I might fall out of the window and break my neck.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Well, Mel moved for me.
Oh, very good. Sort of puts me on the defensive. I'll try this.
Okay, here's our move.
And here's mine.
That's just what we were waiting for, Mr. Colby. Now you jump this, and this, and this, and this, and that's the game. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, isn't it wonderful?
That's $30 I owe you.
And without my kibitzing, you wouldn't have won at all, Mr. Colby.
Well, I know it, and believe me, I won't forget it. Mr. Fisher, how would you like to play one game for $30? Win or lose all, I say.
Well, that's a game sport, Mr. Colby. I'll take you on.
And I'll help you again, Mr. Colby.
Mel, what's the name of that Chinese laundroman down the street?
Oh, you mean so long?
What'd you say?
So long.
Oh, too bad you have to go so soon. So long, man. So long.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Colby. Stop pushing.
Oh, come now. Quiet down, everybody. I move. There.
Oh, Mel.
Not now, Betty. Mr. Colby. Here's the move to make. Oh, Mr. Fisher, next time you have an executive meeting, invite me down. I do imitations, too. Did you ever hear Bugs Bunny? Listen to this. What's up, Doc?
You know, I can't even keep my mind on the game.
Mel, here's a knife. Go and cut yourself.
Very funny.
Well, I think that $120 are quite enough to owe any man, Mr. Colby. So I'm going to call it quits. There's your money.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Well, what's the matter, Mr. Colby? You're not taking this very well.
Mr. Colby is what is known as a sore winner.
Oh, you certainly are a card, Brother Zebra.
A card? He's the whole deck.
Well, good night, and believe me, it's been a pleasure.
Well, good night, Mr. Fisher.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Colby, let me say this for you. Everywhere I'm invited, people get into checker games with me and purposely let me win. You know, you're the first man who ever had guts enough to beat me. I admire you.
Yeah, that's just the way I feel, Brother Zebra.
And, by the way, Mr. Colby, I just got in a large order of Portuguese sardines. Now, I don't know whether you know this or not, but they're almost impossible to get.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, but Mr. Colby, you told me
Mel.
Well, you call me in the morning, Mr. Colby, and you let me know how many you want. So now, good night, and, ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Oh, what a night, what a night. Mel Blanc!
Yes?
Go and take Betty to the dance.
Oh, thanks, Daddy. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Come on, Betty. Betty, this is the first Saturday night we won't be spending in the parlor.
Oh, gosh, won't we have fun? This ticket good for one admission to the post. Mel.
What's the matter, Betty?
These tickets are for next Saturday night.
Next Saturday night? Uh-oh. Back to the parlor again.
Don't take a chance with your romance.
Use Colgate tooth powder. Young man, whether you're calling on a customer or calling on your best girl, remember this. A little breath of trouble, unpleasing breath, can quickly mark you down. So be on your guard. Do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. For Colgate tooth powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. What's more, no dentifrice at any price cleans your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate tooth powder. Remember to buy it first thing. And remember the name Colgate tooth powder with the accent on powder.
Oh, Melvin.
Yes, Uncle Rupert?
Will you please sign this check?
Well, what's it for?
For $25.
But, Uncle, we don't owe that much money to anybody.
This is for the community chest drive.
Oh, we owe them everything we can afford. Give me that pen. Good night, folks.
This is Bud Easton reminding you that Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show every Tuesday at this time. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday night for more fun with Mel and the people you'll meet in Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
Say hello to Halo Shampoo for naturally bright and beautiful hair. Remember, even finest soaps and soap shampoos hide the natural luster of your hair with dulling soap film. But Halo Shampoo contains no soap, therefore leaves no dulling soap film. Even in hardest water, Halo makes oceans of rich, fragrant lather, quickly banishes loose dandruff and dirt. Halo needs no lemon or vinegar rinse. Say hello to Halo and goodbye to dulling soap film. Get Halo Shampoo at any cosmetic counter.
Remember, Mel Blanc every Tuesday night at this time. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Of America presents The Fred Allen Show. The Fred Allen Show with Fred's guests Jack Benny and Henry Morgan, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius, Peter Donald, Parker Finley, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And this is Kenny Delmar speaking for your friendly Ford dealer. Now that summer is here, every single one of the more than 6,400 Ford dealers would like to get his hands on every car that's going around with unsafe brakes, tires, or lights, and give it a good going over. Your Ford dealer would like to get his hands on your car to put it in shape for safe family driving. So bring it in tomorrow, why don't you? His expert service will be a revelation. It saves so much time, trouble, and money. And your Ford will be a lot more fun to drive when Ford-trained mechanics using special Ford equipment have gone over it by factory-approved methods. Give your car a new lease on life. You'll be surprised how little it costs when you take your car to the man who knows Ford's best, your friendly Ford dealer. Sunday night again, and here comes Fred Allen in his new Ford to keep his weekly date at the corner of Main Street. As Fred steps out of his Ford, he hears a voice say,
Mr. Allen!
Portland. Portland, have you been waiting long?
Oh, I've been looking at the pictures outside the newsreel theater.
Oh, really? What's new in the newsreels this week?
The Gregory Pecks had another boy.
Yeah?
They have 3 boys now.
3 little Pecks, eh?
1 more Peck, and they'll have a bushel.
Yeah? Yeah? What is that?
Well, I'd like to start things off with a laugh.
With a laugh. It would be better if you started things off with a joke, you know.
Oh, a joke?
Yes.
As the envelope said to the postage stamp, stick to me and we'll go places.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look, wait a minute. Don't...
Well, I'm as hot as last Wednesday.
You are as hot as any corner of an ice cube. That is...
If I can keep up this pace, I'll end up with my own program.
Yes, you will. The way radio is going, that is quite possible. Tell me, what else is in the news?
Milton Berle has a newspaper column.
Oh, I have seen that. I read it from right to left. You know, they have it in the paper where you do.
Milton wants everybody to know he's a columnist.
I know. Berle walks around Lindy's on his knees so that people will think he's Billy Rose.
Milton went out to Hollywood to make a picture for Warner Brothers.
Yes, I saw that, too. It's going to take 3 weeks after the picture's made. He has to pop his own corn to go with the picture. When Berle's picture plays the Strand, it will pack the streets. Well, enough about Mr. Television. Berle is the only comedian I know who uses an air wick for a straight man.
Say, I just happened to think. You told me to remind you about Jack Eigen.
Oh, yes, Jack Eigen. Tonight will be the last time Jack Eigen's name will ever be mentioned on our program.
Are you going to bid him farewell?
Yes, Portland, I am. Let us bow our heads, sister, and face the Copacabana as for the last time we mention his name, Jack Eigen. Well, Portland, there's nothing more to say. I think I'll pick up my paper.
May I come along?
Sure, let's take a walk down Main Street.
What does the paper say?
Say, here's an ad for that radio program I'm going to be on tomorrow night.
Oh, DuPont's Cavalcade of America, the life of Sue Chan.
You know, he owns the House of Chan, and I'm going to interview him on the program. It'll be very interesting, my dialect and his blending that way. It'll come out. Say, here's an item. Look at this. As the first day of summer arrived this past week, millions of Americans started planning their vacations.
Do you think most people really plan their vacations?
Who knows? Let's ask some people as we're walking down Main Street. This man coming along with the live frogs on his smoking jacket. Pardon me, sir.
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn, that is.
Well, Senator...
If you're telling forth, ain't no gypsy to me.
But,
don't hold me up, son. I'm busier than a man with St. Vitus stance trying to put on his long underwear.
You're busy?
Yeah, I'm heading a committee in Washington to track down them 5%ers.
Oh, the 5%ers. Have you trapped any of those 5%ers, Senator?
Well, I got my eye on one little wassup.
Yeah?
He's got a second-hand hearing device. He's still pretty deep.
And he's a 5%er?
Yeah, the Navy ordered 200 boats.
200 boats.
This little deep scissor bill thought to said goats.
You mean the Navy ended up with 200 goats?
With them goats loose in the Navy, son, today it ain't safe to be a rear admiral.
Well, you sure have plenty of problems, Senator.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on them red investigations.
Say, do you think, confidentially, Senator, do you think communism is spreading, do you?
It sure is, son. Them communists is heading for plenty of trouble.
Trouble?
Russia's taking over China.
Where does the trouble come in?
Them Russians are bringing borscht into China.
Borscht?
Son, when a Chinaman tries to lift that wet potato out of his borscht with chopsticks, there's going to be trouble.
Senator, do you think most people plan their vacations?
Americans have been planning the same vacations for generations.
Really?
Everybody in America finally gets to Europe.
Finally gets to Europe, eh?
Every year, our civilians go over there for pleasure.
Every year?
And every 20 years, our army goes over there on business. Come on. Come on.
Come on, Portland. Come away from that jewelry store window.
I just learned something.
Really?
The diamond is the hardest mineral in the world.
Well, why is the diamond the hardest mineral?
It'll make an impression on a woman.
Say, that's real good, isn't it?
Look who's coming out of Howard Johnson's with the ice cream cone.
Who?
Titus Moody.
Oh, hi, Mr. Moody.
Howdy, Bob.
Mr. Moody? Mr. Moody, do you think most people plan their summer vacations?
Why, it seems to me everybody spends their summers driving around in automobiles.
You are in a position to know this?
I'd say so.
You would, really?
Yeah. I run a roadside stand for motorists.
Really? What do you sell?
My sign says, genuine farm eggs, strictly fresh.
Well, how many chickens do you have?
I don't have none.
Well, with no chickens, how can you run an egg business?
Every morning I buy a lot of eggs at the A&P supermarket.
At the A&P?
I set the eggs out on my roadside stand in nests.
I see.
Then I dress up as a rube.
You dress up as a rube, eh?
Yeah. I put on a big straw hat.
Yeah?
Tie a red bandana around my neck. Stick a straw in my mouth. Then I go down by the road and I lean on a long rake.
Well, what happens when a motorist drives up to your stand?
Why, I start yelling, well, I swan, by heck, and other rustic expressions. So, the motorist, he thinks he's dealing with a country jay, a pea picker.
A pea picker, hey?
He says, how about it, Zeke? Are them eggs fresh?
Yeah.
And with that, Miss Moody, she's under the counter meditating. She starts clucking.
She's clucking. And the motorist buys the eggs?
I ain't missed a sale in 20 years.
Well, how many eggs do you sell?
Well, I can only sell 60 eggs an hour.
Well, why only 60 eggs an hour?
There's one born every minute. So long.
So long. Portland. Let's cross over here.
Look who's turning the corner.
Mrs. Nussbaum. Mrs. Nussbaum, do you think most people plan their vacations?
Not me. In the summer, it's too hot for taking vacations.
Too hot, you say?
Last year at Far Rockaway, my little puppy, a water spaniel, is percolating to death.
Oh. You lost your dog? Well, what did you do?
To my puppy, I'm dedicating a poem.
Oh, really? What is it called?
A puppy on a hot day I wouldn't want to be.
It's a little doggerel, hey? Well, how does it go?
A puppy on a hot day I wouldn't want to be. A puppy on a hot day could be someone else, not me. A herring on a hot day I would be, likewise a guppy. But one thing I would hate to be on a hot day is a puppy. A puppy on a hot day can wag his tail a minute. This will stir a breeze behind, but the puppy isn't in it. For a puppy, I feel sorry. On a hot day, he will pant. I can take my coat off, but a little puppy can't.
Good night, Mrs. Nussbaum. Well, Portland, walking down Main Street is like reading a dull book. It's good to come to the end.
You haven't found out anything about people planning their vacations, have you?
Well, I tell you, I'll try one more passerby. This little man coming along with the horseshoe crab for a tie pin. Hi, chum. How do you do? Cassidy.
Stand aside, me boy. I'm celebrating.
You're celebrating what?
Sure, the drought is over. The beer strike ended.
Well, you look as though you've been making up for lost time.
I think I drank too much beer.
Really? Why?
Every time I perspire, me perspiration has a head on it.
Well, tell me, Ajax, do you think people plan their vacations?
Now, me boy, I don't plan nothing. I have the same vacation every summer.
You do?
To get away from the humdrum routine, the grind of doing nothing all year.
Yes?
For me vacation?
Yes?
I go to work for 2 weeks. Come on, you boy.
So long, Ajax. Let's go, Portland. I'll be late for my date at the music store.
You have a date?
Oh, say, is this a big night tonight? You know, one of the DeMarco sisters, Ann DeMarco, has written a song. Now, Al Goodman and his orchestra and the DeMarco sisters are going to do Ann's song for the first time on the air tonight. It's called Time Doesn't Change a Thing.
Since you have gone, I can't go on. No use in trying. For time didn't change a thing. I miss you so, you ought to know. You left me crying. And time didn't change a thing. My friend said I'd forget you, but I don't know where to start. How can I get you off my mind when I can't get you out of my heart? Come back to me and you will see my love's undying. 'Cause time didn't change a thing. No, time didn't change a
Say, Portland, this is the last time we'll ever walk down Main Street. Let's stop in and say goodbye to the Ford dealer.
All right. He's standing inside the door.
Oh, swell.
Well, Fred and Portland, this is a surprise.
This is our last program. We want to say goodbye.
Yes, Portland and I want to tell you and all the Ford dealers how wonderful it has been to work for you these past 2 years.
Thank you, Fred. What are you and Portland going to do this summer?
Well, part of
of the summer, we're going to drive around in our new Ford.
Yes, we may sell some cars for you now while we're out on the road this summer.
You don't have to sell Fords, Fred.
No?
The new Ford sells itself. The new Ford is the only car in its class with a V8 engine. The only one with 100 horsepower.
Say, I've heard Kenny say that on the program. Kenny said the V8 is the type of engine used in America's costliest car.
That's right. Yet a Ford with a V8 engine costs hundreds of dollars less than many other cars with six-cylinder engines. The Ford has more power for the weight the engine has to move than any other car on the road.
And Kenny always talks about the new Ford feel.
Yes, Fred, other features that contribute to the new Ford feel are the solid lifeguard body of heavy-gauge steel, the magic action brakes that are 35% easier to apply, and new springs, hydrocoil in the front, Paraflex in the rear.
Oh, Mama says the new Ford is the fashion car of the year.
That's true, Portland. The new Ford received the 1949 award from the New York Fashion Academy.
Say, on the program, too, Kenny says the Ford is a big car.
Yes, the new Ford has more hip room.
And can Mama use that hip room?
Yeah.
It has more shoulder room than any other car in its field. And big picture windows all around.
Oh, Mama likes big windows. She can see what everybody's doing. Mama's nosy.
Say, well, this is all mighty interesting, hearing about all the features of the new Ford. But, Portland, I think we'd better leave.
Well, why, Fred? You bought a new Ford, didn't you?
Yes, but if you keep talking, I'll buy another one. Come on, Portland.
Happy vacation, kids.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Gosh, it sure is hot out tonight, Portland.
I think I'll stop in the drugstore and get a frozen frosted.
A frozen frosted. Ought to go good now. Well, I'll see you later then.
Good night.
Good night, Portland. I'm sure going to miss Main Street, the jewelry store, the grocery, the pawn shop. Say, who is this man in front of the pawn shop with a moose head under his arm?
Hello, Fred.
Henry Morgan. Henry, you in front of a pawn shop?
Fred, when I'm working, I'm in front of the cigar store.
Well, I know.
When I'm not working, I'm in front of the pawn shop. I got to hawk this moose head.
Hawk? But, Henry, you've been working all winter.
I know I have, Fred, and I appreciate it.
And, Henry, I just read that you're going back on the air replacing Duffy's Tavern.
Yeah, but that doesn't start until July 6th.
But, Henry, what did you do with all... You worked all winter. What did you do with all your money?
Well, I got tired sitting around on the bare floor of the apartment, so I bought a rug and some furniture on the installment plan.
I see.
First week I was out of work. To make the payments on the furniture, I had to borrow $300 from a loan company.
Uh-huh.
Now I owe the loan company, so I have to pawn my moose head.
Well, Henry, confidentially, that is a pretty mangy-looking moose head you have there.
Fred, please, if it weren't for this moose head, I wouldn't be alive, out of work, and owing $300 today.
You mean the moose saved your life?
Yes, Fred, it did. Last winter, I went hunting up in Canada.
Yes?
Got lost in the woods for 12 days. I had nothing to eat.
Gosh.
I was sitting by the edge of a lake watching myself slowly starve to death when this moose peeked out from behind a tree.
You saw the moose, did you?
I did. I picked up my rifle.
Yes?
I was just about to pull the trigger when the moose looked at me with those big brown eyes.
Yes?
I didn't have the heart to shoot. I put down my rifle.
The moose knew that even though you were starving, Henry Morgan, you had spared his life.
Yes, and he was so grateful, that moose walked over to me and dropped dead.
You ate the moose?
I tried to eat him, Fred, but I couldn't look into those big brown eyes.
No?
So I went around where the moose couldn't see me.
And you ate your fill?
Took me 3 days.
And when you finished?
Well, there was nothing left but the moose head. Fred, this moose head is my dearest friend. In fact, it's my only friend.
Well, Henry, if this moose head means so much to you, why pawn it?
Well, Fred, I got to raise $300.
$300?
If I don't pay the Mohawk Loan Company by 4 o'clock, I'll lose my furniture.
Well, who owns this Mohawk Loan Company?
I don't know who the chiseler is, Fred.
Yeah?
But he wants his $300 by 4 o'clock today. Just this morning in the mail, I got a postcard showing a man sitting in the electric chair. Underneath, it said, "Don't let this happen to you. Pay your loan to Mohawk."
Henry, you have got to get $300.
But where?
I think I know where, Henry. Follow me. Well, Henry, here we are.
This is the Chase National Bank.
I'll see if this party is in. Say, guard.
Yes, sir.
We're looking for Mr. X.
Is Mr. X expecting you?
Yes, I'm a friend of Mr. X's.
Go through that iron door and down the circular staircase.
Thank you very much. Come on, Henry.
Fred, who is Mr. X?
Henry, his name is never mentioned.
Yeah, but do you think he'll lend me the $300?
Quiet, here's another guard.
You're looking for someone, gentlemen?
Mr. X.
Is Mr. X expecting you?
Yes, I'm a friend of Mr. X's.
Go down through this trap door and crawl through the tunnel.
Thank you. Come on, Henry.
Gee whiz, Fred, it's dark. Say, how much farther do we have to crawl?
Henry, there's a flashlight.
Who goes there?
It's all right, guard. We have some business with Mr. X.
Mr. X is in his personal vault. Straight ahead.
Thank you. Come on, Henry. Help me open this door.
Gee whiz. Fred, look at the money in this vault. It's stacked up to the ceiling.
I think Mr. X is coming.
Hello, Fred. Mr. X, Fred, this is Jack Benny.
Well, Mr. X?
You can call me Jack, Fred. I like to keep everything informal around the vault.
Oh, well, thank you, Jack. I hope we're not interrupting.
No, it's all right, Fred. A little rest will do me good. I've been counting steadily since 5 o'clock this morning. I've got a cramp in my tongue from wetting my finger.
Jack, meet a friend of mine.
I'm Henry Morgan.
Morgan? Are you one of J.P.'s nephews?
No, I'm not related to J.P. Morgan.
You're not?
No.
Oh. Well, Fred, what's new?
Nothing much, Jack. How long are you going to be in town?
Oh, I'll be here counting all summer.
Oh, you will? This is Mr. Benny's vacation, Henry. He always spends the summer in his vault here.
Gee, don't you miss the outdoors, Mr. Benny?
No, it's cool down here, and it's so nice and green.
Hey, you know something? I wouldn't mind spending a summer down here myself.
Mr. Morgan, is this the first time you've ever been in a vault?
This is the first time I've ever been in a bank.
You don't believe in banks?
Banks don't believe in me.
Jack, why don't you show Henry around your vault?
I'll be glad to, but before we start, Mr. Morgan, I have to take a few precautions.
Precautions?
Yes. First, I'll have to examine the bottom of your shoes.
For what?
Chewing gum. See, last summer, Rudy Valley came in here with chewing gum on his shoes, and when he left, 20 $10 bills were missing, and Rudy was 4 inches taller.
Henry, why don't you take off your shoes?
All right, I think I will. Mr. Benny, you mind if I go through in my bare feet?
No, not at all. I'll carry your shoes just in case.
Oh, thank you.
Now, before we start, Mr. Morgan, are you a student of money?
Well, Henry knows what money is.
But I haven't been exposed to it lately.
Well, I generally give this talk with a pointer.
Well, do the best you can.
All right, I'll use one of my fingers. A
long finger would be helpful.
Now, Mr. Morgan, over here are my 5s, here are my 10s, here are my 20s, and this stack here is Confederate money.
Jack, what are you doing saving Confederate money?
Well, if the South ever comes back, brother, I'll be the John D. Rockefeller of Atlanta.
Tell me, Mr. Benny, what is this in the glass case?
Oh, that is the first dollar I ever made.
Well, it looks like a string of beads.
It's wampum.
The first dollar you ever made was wampum?
Yes. A nearsighted Indian passed through Waukegan when I was a boy. I sold him my mother's shawl for a blanket.
Oh, I see. Jack, don't you ever think of anything else but money?
If I ever do, I'll go right to a psychiatrist.
Tell me, when did you first think of money, Mr. Benny?
The day I was born, I was a bottle baby.
I know, but a lot of babies were bottle babies.
Well, I was the first baby that ever got a nickel back on the bottle.
And you've dedicated your entire life to the accumulation of money?
Yes, my boy, I have it. It's my fond hope that when I die, I'll go to Fort Knox.
Jack, the reason I brought Henry over...
Yeah, Mr. Benny, you see, by 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. What time is it now?
It's 3:45.
The boys should be checking in. I wonder... Oh, that must be one of the boys now. Come in.
Number 1 reporting, Mr. Benny.
Okay, number 1.
Got a big day, 4,682 nickels.
Good.
So long, Mr. Benny.
So long, number 1.
Say, Jack, what are all those nickels?
I run my own turnstile in the subway.
But nickels?
If the city went to a dime, I'm cleaning up.
Mr. Benny.
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan. That's probably one of the other boys. Come in.
Here you are, Mr. Benny.
Oh, thanks, Mert.
We had a big day today, 7,600 nickels.
Good.
So long, Mr. Benny.
So long, Mert.
Jack, another turnstile?
No, I also run my own slot at the automat.
But how do you...
I have a compartment with a live herring in it.
A live
When
herring?
someone puts a nickel in the slot and the little window opens,
yes,
the herring feels the draft and slaps the window closed with his tail.
Jack, you mean?
I trained this herring and it was time well spent.
Well, how long have you had the herring working for you in the automat?
Only 6 months. He's already brought me in over $800.
Say,
Mr. Benny, by 4 o'clock, if I don't have $300...
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan. Come in.
Here it is, Mr. Benny.
Thanks, Pop.
I got a whole chimney full today.
Good.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, Pop.
Say, Jack, what is that Santa Claus doing in here?
Why, he works for me, Fred.
A Santa Claus working in June?
It's for people who do their Christmas shopping very early.
Mr. Benny, the reason that I'm here...
Yes, Jack, look, Henry has to borrow $300 by 4 o'clock, or some shyster with a loan company will take his furniture and his moose head.
Yes, Mr. Benny, see, we thought that maybe you would...
$300.
I'm a good risk, Mr. Benny. I've been working all winter.
Yes.
You worked all winter and you're broke?
I'm flatter than something that's been stepped on.
Mr. Morgan, this is rather a personal question, but what do you do with your money?
I spend it.
I see your problem already. How do you spend your money?
Well, after a hard day's work, I generally go into a bar for a cocktail.
Yes?
I buy drinks for everybody, and then we go to dinner.
We?
After buying a few drinks, I suddenly acquire a crowd of friends.
And you buy everybody dinner?
Well, if I bring guests in to eat, I have to pick up the check, don't I?
I've heard of it.
After dinner, the whole gang follows me to a nightclub. I pay the check and tip everybody wearing a mess jacket. Always end up broke. That's why I need $300.
Mr. Morgan, if you would do as I do, you wouldn't need $300.
Well, what do you do?
Well, after a hard day's work like you, I go into a bar.
And you buy a drink?
First, I let out a shriek so everybody sees me, and then I faint.
You faint?
A crowd gathers. Somebody gives me 3 or 4 brandies to bring me to. I get up off the floor, shake hands all around, and leave for dinner.
Do you eat alone, Mr. Benny?
No, I usually find a group of friends at a table, and I sit with them.
Who pays for the dinner?
Well, all during the meal, I keep feeling my pat of butter.
You keep feeling your butter?
Yes. When it comes time to pay, I reach for the check. While my hand is slipping around, somebody else picks it up.
Well, I'd like to know something. After dinner, do you go out to a nightclub?
Always. I order champagne for everybody. Then just before the floor show finishes, I swallow 4 sleeping pills fast.
4 sleeping pills?
Yes. I don't know how the party ends up or who pays the check. I just wake up in bed the next day well rested.
You see, Henry, Mr. Benny really knows how to live.
And nobody ever made me this cheap on my own program.
Well, Mr. Benny, I'll certainly follow your advice. Well, there's just one more thing.
Yes, Mr. Morgan.
Can you let me have $300?
Yes, Jack. Henry has to have $300 by 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Why, it's 5 after 4 now. Excuse me, that's the phone. I'll answer it in the booth.
Fred, it's 5 after 4. I'm ruined.
Now, Henry, don't go to pieces.
Well, Fred, my furniture, my moose head, the Mohawk Loan Company will take everything.
Henry, I'll go home with you. Maybe I can talk to the shyster who's president of that Mohawk Loan Company.
Well, I'm sorry, fellas. I have to leave. That phone call was urgent. Some business just came up.
Well, let's go, Henry.
Maybe I can give you fellas a lift. Which way are you going?
Well, I'm going home. I live on East 61st Street.
Really? I'm going to East 61st Street.
I live at 331.
Now, that's a coincidence. I'm going to 331.
Then you must be coming to my house.
I don't know. I have to pick up some furniture and a moose head.
Jack Steady. Besides running a turnstile in the subway, a slot in the order.
I also happen to be the shyster who's president of the Mohawk Loan Company.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.